Yes, people, happy Monday. How are we doing? Happy start of a new week. Some people say the week starts on Sunday, but I'm here to tell you the week starts on Monday. How are we doing, everybody? Welcome into episode number 43 of the Untitled series here on United Spurs of America. I'm Jacob, one half United Spurs of America. I hope you're living well. If you're wondering how I'm doing, too blessed to be stressed, my friend. Lately I feel like my comments may have upset a few people. For that I apologize. Can only speak my truth. But how are we doing? Just past 3 p.m. here in the afternoon. Good morning for those of you out there down under where I refuse to believe what y'all do to kangaroos. And then good evening to those of you in the UK. It'll be about what, 10 p.m. for y'all right now. Hope you've had a great Monday in general, because Mondays can be a little bit of a drag. If you're in the UK, hopefully this can put a little cherry on top of a Sunday. Hopefully it was a banana split type of Sunday, or not a bad one. So how are we all doing? Obviously, big news: the transfer market's closed, but not if you're in Turkey. Galatasaray, how do you say it? Well, how am I supposed to say it? Galatasaray or Rai? I don't know. Someone will tell me in the chat for sure. Before we figure out who got the first place prize today, let me just say, big ups, DAVINSON, Sanchez. Big ups, TANGUY and Ndombele. They're allegedly gonna get gone now. I'm lost for words, because honestly, DAVINSON, Sanchez, that one is like a legitimate deal. It's not a loan deal. That's like a buy. The TANGUY and Ndombele, I've been hearing that they're covering like 150K, and we're paying the other 50K. So that's really not that bad when you think about subsidizing those payments. Anywho, there's already over 40 of y'all in the house. Make sure you're hitting that like. Make sure you participate in the poll. I see 34 votes, 23 likes. So some free beer not getting grabbed on the way into the party. And you know what? If that's how you choose to party, then that's how you choose to party. Not here to tell you how to live your life, but I would encourage you to hit that like if you can, if you get the moment. Un momento, por favor. That was a really horrible way of speaking Spanish to you, but regardless, let's see who we got in here today. About 5 minutes in. It's a good time to say. It's a good time to say how sad I am, honestly. If you're sad like me, not because DAVINSON, not because TANGUY and Ndombele, but if you're sad like me, there's no Ainge ball to look forward to this weekend. That kind of makes me sad. I don't know. Does that make you sad? If you're a rival fan, you probably don't feel too sad about it. You're probably glad Ainge Postecoglou and the mighty Tottenham Hotspur are not coming to town, because if right when we're everything just look, we're stepping up. And then they throw an international break right in the middle of that. It's kind of like a banana peel, but you know what? We move. I guess I'll watch some of these guys. I mean, Gift Orban got called up to his national team. National teams are pretty stacked. Van de Veen got called up. James Madison got called up. Everybody's going to their national team. I don't like that. I don't like it personally. And I'm curious how y'all feel in the chat. Sorry, before I played the intro, all of a sudden I had 3 sneezes. Normally people sneeze twice. I usually either sneeze once or 3 times, and I was sneezing quite a bit before the show started. So apologies if I sound a little stuffy. Milton Nobrega is in the house. Gets the first place prize. Says, good afternoon, Jacob, a.k.a. Shirley, but don't call me Shirley. Hope all is well with you. Big up everyone in the chat. Grab your free beer, kick back, and enjoy the great vibes. Come on, you Spurs. Big up Milton. Good morning out there in Wollongong. I believe that's where you're from. I always mispronounce the place, but you know the vibes are immaculate here. Kate, with Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs, checking in. Big up, Kate. Hope you're keeping well. David Cooper, first YouTube chat member, checking in, says, hey, Jacob, got to get my 3 kids, 8, 10, and 12 years old, off to school, so might join you later on. Have a great show. Big up, Dave. Appreciate you being here in the house, tapping in, showing that support, being a YouTube chat member. You can get your membership I think the cheapest one's $2 a month, $1.99 a month. Or if you want to just do the free thing, another free thing. Anyone who listens to the show on the regular, you know I talk about free. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. It's absolutely free to do. Helps every channel, every content creator you watch will ask you to do that. It's a very simple gesture, and it goes such a long way for everybody involved. Thank you again for everyone who tuned in yesterday. Saw over 100 or over 200 likes on that on yesterday's stream. So big ups for that. Big up to Hotspur Hippie. We had a great time. So big up everybody who is dropping those likes for us, helping the channel grow in that way. It's free again. But David Cooper, big up for grabbing your membership and being a supporter here of the channel. Chris Agambar, big up. Jacob, big up. Chris, saw you at the coffee company. Looked like you're having a good time, my friend. Look like you're having a good time. Big up, Chris. Daniel Horton says, Jacob, I'm fired up here in Arkansas or Alaska. I'm pretty sure it's Alaska, Daniel. If I'm not mistaken, Daniel Horton, you're from Alaska. Correct me if I'm wrong. Says, Jacob, I'm fired up here in Alaska. Path to the first team for the youth. Personally, that's something I've called for, Daniel, quite frequently on this platform. Postacoglu promised this. Trust in Ainge. We will get to see the coaching up. May be painful, but this is the way forward. Hasn't been painful yet, Daniel. Has not been painful yet. Before I keep saying hello to everyone, let me skip the chat and say, what is good? How are you doing? A moon dog. That's not a very good. I'm trying to think of a. You're always here. You're always super chatting. You're always saying hello. So good evening to you, sir. But big up moon dog. I got to figure out some kind of like evening. Some kind of like a WWE call out, like your name, call it out WWE style. But how are you doing, Moondog? How do you feel? Davinson Sanchez is out the door. You know, that's something that has been a topic of discussion lately among Spurs fans is now does this leave us thin? There was obviously the news. Obviously I have a few tweets saved and I can show them, but honestly, seeing Ashley Phillips and then Dorrington signed a new contract today. Interesting times. There's the youth rumblings and bumblings, and not the usual rumbling and bumblings that make you feel uneasy in your stomach, but the good kind that make you feel like you have butterflies. You know, kind of the similar feelings I get before I start a show. You know, sometimes there's 10 of y'all watching. Sometimes, like right now, there's 56 of y'all watching. Yesterday, there was 130 some people watching. And it doesn't matter how many people there are. I always get the same pre-show jitters, just like a queasiness, not a queasiness in the stomach, but definitely an excited and anxious feeling. You know, just because I do have to talk to basically myself and then the chat who chats, or if I have a guest, and I'll talk to them too. But so yeah, you get the little bit pre-show jitters, but. Big up Moondog. Definitely easy when you have stuff to talk about, like TANGUY and Ndombele, like Davinson Sanchez going to Galatasaray. I mean, Galatasaray officially have even like tweeted about it. I mean, they haven't announced it. I was watching Football Heritage TV with Sava and Perchi earlier, and they were like, oh, they just tweeted it. They just tweeted it, and everyone was rushing to see it. And I was like, did they tweet it? And apparently they didn't tweet it, but they kind of did tweet it. Look, I'll show you what they did. Obviously, I don't know what the hell that says, but you can see Davinson Sanchez and Tottenham Hotspur in that one. So if you go, this is their Twitter, y'all. Moondog with another super chat. Big up Moondog, doubling up on the night, double dipping, but not with the salsa or the queso, my friend. Just wished they went in the window. That's a good point. You know, they said one in, one out. That's what we were waiting for. And then it's interesting, as soon as the window ends, now we get two out. And we cannot get two in. Interesting that, isn't it, Moondog? Big up Moondog for the 2 super chats. Supporting the channel monetarily. I do appreciate you doing that, sir. Again, going above and beyond the call of booty. You don't have to do that. Again, if you have a question that you want to read or that you want me to bring up or something, you have a question that you want me to save, I'll treat it like a super chat, but I'll just put a Q on it. I'll start and we'll bring it up later. But let's keep saying what's up to the chat. But yeah, Galatasaray. Oh, look, this was 12 minutes ago. What does this say? Translate? What does this say? An agreement has been reached with professional. Oh, they tweeted it, y'all. It's officially official as of 12 minutes ago. Look at there. Would you looky there? Galatasaray. You guys are gonna get a baller. Indom baller. Call me if you need some nicknames. Me and my boy Michael, we had every nickname in the book for this lad, TANGUY and Ndombele. Oh my god. Man, that's crazy. But Perchy just texted me, said both clubs have announced the deal. Did we tweet it too? Let's go see. Let's go see. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. 14 minutes ago. Damn, literally at when I started the show. Well, damn, there it is. Good luck, Tanguy. He's on loan. Oh, and then there's oh no. This one. Oh no. Yo, this is happening live on air right now. I'm actually like, oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness gracious. Moondog with a tripling up. Trace attack. Trace. Call him Tracy McGrady. Says, I know I don't have to, Jacob, but I like helping. Big up, Moondog. This absolutely touching in this moment of need. It's not really a moment of need. It is a moment in which I think we can be happy as Spurs fans. For me personally, this is something I've wanted for the last 3 years. But, you know, when it happens, it's still a little bit... it feels a little funny. I'm not going to lie. When it's official and, like, Tottenham Hotspur official tweets it, like, Tanguy Ndombele, he'll be back, so I don't really feel any way other than good. I'm glad that someone else is going to pay him money to hang out. And he gets a Champions League football that he was so craving. But the Davinson Sanchez... 6 years of service to the club, Davinson Sanchez. Say what you will about the man. Say what you will about him as a defender. But one thing you cannot question was his passion for the club. I know he had a lot. The same thing I say about Lucas Moura, right? He gave us some good, some shit. But at the end of the day, he bled for the club and he loves Tottenham. I mean, you saw how broken he was just to leave us this summer. But Davinson Sanchez... I don't know if it's the same love for Spurs, but it's the same passion and dedication to the badge. And honestly, I would have preferred to see Dyer go before Sanchez, if I'm honest. If I'm actually being 100% honest. Wow, I can't believe this is like... You know, sometimes when you go live, you don't expect things to be like officially announced, and then they officially announce them. Absolutely. Wow. Moondog, quadromatic out here. Moondog with the fourth super chat of the day. Wow, knocking him out the park. Says this will help to bring someone in January. That's a good point. Maybe we will be lining someone up, Moondog. That this move now will help us out in the future. And obviously, Ange Postecoglou has previously stated that every move that happens, he has a say in it. Players coming in, players going out. So this is something that he feels confident enough in saying, yeah, you can take my third option at center back because I think Ashley Phillips is ready to go. I mean, Ashley Phillips, since he got here, he'd been training with the first team. So, you know what? This is a beautiful day for us. I think we can turn a page. We've begun to turn the page, and we continue to turn that page. And honestly, I'm super thrilled. I'm super thrilled. I want to know how y'all are feeling in the chat. This is breaking. Should I do the clickbait thing and change the title to breaking news? Should I do that? Is that too... I'm just going to look at the chat. Someone say yes or no. Tell me what I should do with the channel's title. Should I be shameless? Should I be shameless? Maybe I will. Let me say what's up to some people. I did miss everybody. Moondog, you've been clutching it with the super chats. That's 4 on the day. You're absolutely killing it. Moondog says yes. Moondog's hit me with 4 super chats. So honestly, if I don't listen to Moondog, then what the hell am I doing? I need to do it all caps though. Breaking news. I got 2 more characters. Let me do this. Bang. Look at that. The title now says breaking news with an exclamation mark, all caps, emphasizing, yelling it, all the above. All the above. Breaking news. Breaking news, everybody. Breaking news. Get people in. It's your channel. Big up, Perchy. You right. you're doing. Hey, if I don't listen to you on like how to promote the channel, you do a good job of promoting Perchy TV out there. So I'll take one out of your book, Perch. Appreciate you. But again, big up Moondog. Appreciate you doing that. Let me see. Did it update? Did I update it? Yeah, it does. Breaking news. There it is. Shameless as ever. But you know what? I was shameless all weekend about Heung-min Son and Christian Romero and Ainge Postecoglou. But it's okay. We could all enjoy this, right? I think I've said it on numerous times, no matter what side of the coin you are on, everyone's enjoying what they're seeing. And if there's anything that makes me happy is fucking Spurs fans finally loving what Spurs are doing. But that's just me. Let's see what the poll's looking like. How do we feel about Sanchez and Ndombele leaving? 72 votes, 52 likes. 20 people voted but didn't like. That's okay. 50% says finally 2 of the Deadwood gone. Finally. I'm getting a weird Wi-Fi signal thing going on. Maybe I have too many things going on my computer. I need to exit out some applications. 1 second. I don't want to be lagging when there's breaking news. Like, what would CNN do if they're like lagging? Come on. I can't be lagging. But big up Moondog. 4 super chats in the span of 20 minutes. You're really acting like Heung-min Son coming off the bench versus Leicester last season. And by that, I mean being absolutely dynamic and fantastic. So big up for doing that. Big up Scott Colliver as well. This is good afternoon, Jacob. Glad the 2 Deadwood are gone. I trust Phillips to step up. Big up Scott. Big up Future Music. Big up the Perchy. Says, what an incredible day. 2 absolute disaster signings on their way out today. I mean, in hindsight, we could say this Sanchez and then Don. I think at both of those signings, we were all pretty excited. And Ndombele, I was frothing when we signed that guy, to be completely honest. So, Moondog again, again with the super chats. Moondog, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 super chats. Moondog has hit. So, if Moondog could hit 5 super chats, surely, but don't call me Shirley, the Spurs fans can hit a like on the video. That's my hope anyway. But let me know how we're feeling, y'all. I am going to run through these comments. I want to check the vibe of the room. TANGUY and Ndombele is officially no longer a Tottenham Hotspur player. It is 1,100% official. This is Tottenham Hotspur's Twitter. This isn't Fabrizio Romano's photoshopped image. This is legitimate. I wonder if we're going to get a higher quality goodbye message from Davinson Sanchez than we got from Harry Kane. Because if you remember Harry Kane, he was actually like in Germany. He had a little bratwurst in his hand, and he was like, hey, Spurs fans, I love you. Goodbye. I don't blame him for that. I do blame the club because as things did come out, apparently they didn't let him back into the training ground. They were just like, goodbye, goodbye. And it's a little rough, a little tough, but everyone takes breakups differently, I guess. But big up Moondog hitting us with another super chat saying to hit that like and share button. That's another one you could do. You could share this video with your mother, your brother, your cousin, your sister, your auntie, your uncle. They all want to watch and support United Spurs of America. If you don't believe me, just share it with them right now and then let them tell you that, because honestly, they all want to be a part of the channel. So big up Moondog helping us monetarily over here at United Spurs of America. I do appreciate you doing that. Let's see, make sure I didn't miss anybody. Tyler's in the house. My American brethren, how you doing? How you doing? Spurs GCTV's in the house. Hansi G, big up. Zapur, the man who's gonna help me with Discord. Hey, I'm gonna message you later. I saw your messages on Discord. We got the Discord rolling, the United Spurs of America Discord. If you want to be a part of that, the link is in the description of this video. I'm gonna put it in the description going forward. I'm not really good at it, so if you do join, be patient with me, but we're going to get that thing being pretty sweet. So big up Zapur being in the house. Mark Cousins is here. The sheriff is in the house. Big up Mark Cousins. Elvis G, another YouTube chat member, says, evening, Jacob. Evening to all in the chat. Big up, Elvis. Big up Cal L Agent. I hope you are good as well, my friend. I love the Ash Ketchum with the Tottenham Hotspur badge. That's pretty sweet. David, big up Jacob. Big up David. Thumb people says Future Music. 6:35 a.m. in Australia, Hansi. It's pretty damn early. Be getting yourself some caffeine, my friend. I know if I was up that early, I would. But I appreciate you being here. Again, I want to say there's a little over 100 of y'all in the house. I appreciate every single one of you tapping in with me tonight on United Spurs of America. I always say you could be anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here with me and all these lovely people in the chat. So if you hit the like or if you don't hit the like, big up yourself for just being here. Whether you love me or hate me, I appreciate the support. Zapur Galatasaray. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. You have a great accent, Jacob. Big up. That was a horrible one, but big up, Lisa. How are you doing, my Mexicana chica? I was gonna say, I forgot the word for sister, but I couldn't remember it. Good evening, Adrian Schroka, Woodsy TV, a YouTube chat member in the house. Is far too early for an international break. Very few people care for. Aren't they just Euro qualifiers? Someone tell me if I'm wrong, but aren't they just Euro qualifiers? And like England, they're gonna play what, San Marino or something. I'm tired of seeing San Marino versus England. Like it's just, come on, y'all. Zapur, I love watching international football, so I'm okay with it. To be fair, I did admit that when my first form of digesting the sport on like a fandom level was internationally. So if that counts for anything. Mr. K's in the house. Big up, Mr. K. Hope you're doing well. Says, hi, everyone. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, Mr. K. Sending immaculate vibes your way, my friend. Good to see you hanging around the communities again in the chat over here at United Spurs of America. Good to see you, my friend. Daniel Horton, Fairbanks, Alaska, specifically. I don't know where Fairbanks, Alaska is, but I know where Alaska is, and that's very high, way up there in the northern region. Big up. Got another super chat rolling in from Donovan Davis. Just saying, Moondog's a real one. Big up, brother. Deadwood gone. Big up, Donovan Davis. You have the celebratory emoji, so I'm assuming that you are all good. Everyone, I don't think anyone's really upset with this. Let's see. Did anyone vote for Tanguy and Ndombele? 3% of 80 votes. Is that 1 or 2 votes? That said, so Ndombele leaving concerns me. There's 3% of 80 votes that vote. I know one was Patty Hartnett. He's just a shit stirrer, but I wonder if some. There's a question from Balpender. I see that. I got it starred, my friend. Here we go. Dang, I was going to give you my Prime subscription, but you're not affiliated or partnered. No, I'm not. We are not affiliated or partnered on Twitch. I think there's like 50 people that even follow the Twitch. So anytime I see a Twitch comment, I'm always like, wow, that's really cool. But big up. Appreciate the generosity. But yeah, on Twitch, they don't love us like that yet on Twitch. But maybe one day they will. Balpinder says, evening, Jacob. At last, the pathway is clearing. Balpinder, I think you've been here since I've been complaining last season anyway about the pathway or the lack thereof. And that's where we were seeing the likes of Markandays and Mundles and Madueke's and Edwards and all these players leaving because there was just a frustrating lack of pathway. And I stand with that. Kim Ad Helgeson, I love this rebuild ongoing. Big up, Kim. Loving the fact that Davinson is bye-bye. There you go. I'll just show the tweet so that y'all can actually see what they. And I just want y'all to be able to see his screaming face because I think that's very good to see. Wolfsfi coming in with a super chat as well, says, thanks for the reminder, Moondog. Like button has been licked. Wow. See, you can do that. You can do all that. You can do all that and more. It don't matter. It's all welcome here. But what I will say is, as long as you're enjoying yourself and you hit the like button, I'm happy. You're happy. And vibes are immaculate. Big up Wolfsfi. Wolves Finland, I think. I've heard people refer to you as Wolves F1, so maybe but also I heard you say that you were from Finland or something, and so it's Wolves Fin. I don't know, but you're always supporting, and you never once judged me for my Adama infatuation. Big up Wolves hitting us with the super chat as well. Thank you so much for the generosity y'all been showing already to the channel. I do appreciate that. Y'all make a young man feel so blessed. I'm really not that young. I'm 32, so my back hurts. There was Got that question starred. Mike's in the house. Big up, Mike. Quentin Casey Love from New Orleans. Big up, New Orleans. I went to school in North Texas, and after Hurricane Katrina happened, there was a lot of people from New Orleans who came over, and they told me, you don't say New Orleans, it's pronounced Nolans. And you know what? That stuck with me since I was a young man. I have a lot of good friends who are from New Orleans. Shout out Wheezy. The F is for phenomenal. I will say that much. Zapur. I thought it was official already, but I like how skeptical you are. Yeah, I got him. I am way behind in the chat. I do apologize, but I just want to make sure I say hi to everybody, even if you didn't super chat or anything. I want to make sure I say hello. That's just kind of the vibes I rock with over here. So I do appreciate y'all's patience. Patty Hartnett in the house. Adrian Lawrence is in the house. Big up to all of y'all. 112 of y'all tapping in. Big up yourself right now. And good afternoon or good morning, depending where you're tuning in. Jules. Big love to Jacob. Big up, Jules. Big love to you as well, my friend. Davinson loves Spurs. You know, I've seen some people saying that he refused these moves that he could have done earlier. He could have helped us out earlier, but I don't know. Well said, Jacob. I was appreciated player, proud to wear our shirt. I do agree with that, Matt Spurs. Big up, Matt. Big up. So Lisa says Galatasaray are only paying a quarter of Tanguy's salary. That's why we can never move him on. Understandable. 200K a month, or 200K a week, excuse me, is a lot of money for any club to pay. And it's, you know, I'm fine if they want to 25% of it. You pay, that's a good amount. Just get him out the door, really. Big up, Drula's in the house. Perchy says it's an amazing day. Sanchez was awful, and then Ndombele was shocking. Big up. Everyone's saying, yeah, be shameless. I'll be shameless. Breaking news. Breaking news. 89 votes. 51% are still just saying, finally, two of the Deadwood are gone. I vibe with that. Nick De La Torre. I think Van de Veen and Romero will be great mentors for Phillips. Absolutely. You got a little bit more of a seasoned vet. You got a youngster whom can show you, and maybe he's a little bit more relatable. Honestly, Van de Veen, he may be young, but he's a damn grown-ass man. Y'all seen them photos of him today? The photos of him today were... he just looks like a grown man, honestly. Seems mad. Big up seems mad. Backline of Romero, Phillips, Van de Veen, you goatee is scary good. It absolutely is. Jagjit Rawat, Jacob Love from India. Big up. Hope you're doing well out there. What time is it? It's pretty late out there for you. Good evening. Hope you're well. Everyone says be shameless. I'll be shameless. I'll be shameless. Y'all got it right. Y'all got it right. Andrew Seymour. Glad to get the belly off the books. I wish I could get my damn belly off the books. Good luck to Sanchez. Good luck indeed to Sanchez. Lazy 8, another YouTube chat member. Big up, Nick. The breaking news has me feeling so fresh and so clean. Ooh, got you feeling like you got, like your backpack is just 15 pounds lighter. Wow, though the title changed in real time without a refresh. Yeah, YouTube's on their shit lately. Got this question, Star David. Big ups. Donovan Davis, Double D, already hit us with a super chat, so I think I'm behind massively on the chat. Yeah, my Wi-Fi is getting excited about the transfer. I think I skipped a bunch of comments. Ren's in the house. Big up, Ren. Says, if we can be sad when things are bad, why can't we be happy when things are good? What's the point in being sad all the time? That's a good question. I try not to be sad even in the bad times, even when I wasn't enjoying things under my man Antonio Conte. It's okay, because this club, these players, this club. That's enough of my Italian accent. 10 of y'all left as soon as I did that, so that's very nice. Ian Satwick says, big up, Jacob. Big up, Ian Satwick. Hope you are well. Howie Ndombele just cut the cafeteria budget by 20%. Well, that's just not nice. I'm a hungry fellow. I can't shame another fellow for being hungry as well. Big up, Ian. Yep, we finally got it done. Cursor's in the house. Like secured. Big up, Cursor. Big up, Chelsea Blue and Blue, showing some love to the channel. Rivals hitting the likes. You like to see it, even though they support Chelsea. You like to see it. Kai Bike in the house. So glad we got rid of McDombele. I'm glad he's gone too. Get a little bit off the books. Seems mad. Exactly. Kane was banned from Levy saying goodbye to his teammates and clean out his locker. That's actually really sad if that's the case. That's no way to treat your club legend, in my opinion. No way to treat a club legend. Why sell Sanchez? No cover now at center back. I'll tell you why, Tom. Big up, Tom, for being here. Because I would rather see Ashley. I'm going to use the same argument I used. Shout out Sean from Spurs Talk Show. But there's an argument that we made, or a question he posed, which was, would you rather start Phillips, who no one knows enough about, and he's 18, and most of his games come from the U18 international duty or whatever the question may be. But would you rather start Dyer? Would you rather start this guy Phillips? And I always argued I would rather start Phillips. Just because I see it as like when you get offered $1 or you get offered a mystery box, and the mystery box could have nothing in it, or it could have $10,000, or you got this as for sure $1. I'd rather take my chances on the damn mystery box, even if there's a turd in there. That's just me. That's absolutely just me. Let's see here. Davo's in the house. Big up, Davo. Big up, Jacob. Enough love. Appreciate that. Good day, sir. Hope you're keeping well. 7:35 a.m. in Australia. Good morning. Hope y'all are keeping well. Love a kangaroo. Don't eat it. That's what I say. Hermana. That's right, Nick de la Torre. Hermana. My fault. I'm slacking. Big up, Ravi. Big up, lad. What you telling me? Look at this is what I'm telling you, Ravi. My Liverpool friend. Tanguy and Ndombele is on his way to Turkey. Davinson Sanchez has been sold to Turkey. Sold, not just loaned. He has actually been sold. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's kind of surreal. It's officially official. It needed to happen. Long overdue. Jack Williams, big up Jacob, absolute legend, the best voice on YouTube. Mia's brother, big up Jack. Good to see you hanging around these parts of the Spurs YouTube hemisphere. Hope you're keeping well, and good evening to you. I enjoyed your debut on Mia's channel. Shout out Spurs Between the Lines. If you haven't subscribed over there, definitely go help out Mia. Share the love. We don't always see eye to eye, Mia and I. Mia and I don't always see eye to eye. But what I will say is she's a great person, a great content creator, and she takes a lot of pride in her work. So go over there and show her some support. Jack, good to see you hanging around. Maybe I can get the both of y'all double feature on the channel sometime. That'd be absolutely cool. Let me know. Love to have you on, Jack. Big up. Thanks for being here. How you attempted to pronounce my phonetics was decent enough. Zapur? Is that what you're talking about? Oh, the phonetics of when you spelt out Galatasaray. That's what you mean. Big up Donovan Davis again for that super chat. Let me make sure. I still am starring your question. So again, if you don't want to super chat, just hit a Q, and I'll star it, and I'll bring it up at a later juncture. 3%. Yeah, it's England play Ukraine and the old enemy Scotland. Okay, that actually sound like kind of interesting matches. Did Mikhailo Mudryk get called up to Ukraine? I'm curious. Jacob, how good is deal for Spurs that Sanchez is going? Honestly, I think it's a really good deal because we got allegedly around 15 million euros, which is what, 11 to 12 million pounds. I'm pretty pleased with that. I know that there was some offers we turned down in the past that were in and around there, but at the end of the day, the window's closed and we're making a profit on a player that, quite frankly, every Spurs fan didn't want here last summer. Last summer, everyone said, get him out of here. He had a good preseason. He showed the willingness to stay and fight for his position, or at least to twerk in the window shop, one or the other. But either way, he had some Spurs fans convinced that he should stay, that he had a role here. Now, I do want to shout out David at Irish Hotspur. He's always maintained that no. I remember posing this to him after Davinson Sanchez had a good couple runs of it. And I said, does he have a spot here? And David at Irish Hotspur was always like, hell no, get him out. He's never been good enough. So shout out Dave, never change. But yeah, Davinson Sanchez did have, I'm honestly a little on my feels just because it is, like when Dele Alli left, I'm not saying this is the same as when Dele Alli left, but when Dele Alli left, it was definitely like, I know this is what's good for us, but damn, it's a little sad to see him go. It's not the same because I think Dele Alli made me tingle more in the pants, but Davinson Sanchez, he loved the club. So I don't think he should get any rude disrespect. I say the same thing to Harry Winks. I used to give Harry Winks a lot of scuff when he was a Tottenham Hotspur player. But you know what? Now that he's moved on to another place, I got nothing bad to say about him. Why do I? Why should I? He's no longer a Tottenham Hotspur player. I do not care no more. And I'm just glad he's gone. But thank you for your service, Davinson Sanchez. Guha Arun Kumar, big up, says good to get rid of Deadwood, but defensive depth is concerning. Absolutely concerning. But I would argue not just defensive depths, my friend. Guha, if I'm saying your name right, I big up on the first try for getting Gua right, but let me know how to pronounce your name, where you're tapping in from. Sorry if I've butchered it. I do apologize. Blame it on the American school system. That's my excuse. But yeah, absolutely good to get rid of Deadwood. Defensive depth is concerning. Midfield depth is concerning. If Basuma goes down, we look completely different. If James Madison goes down, we look completely different. If now Sonny goes down, the attack looks a lot different. So a lot of positions in which we look a lot different. Big up Adrian Lawrence. Is Fairbanks near Douglas? Some Hollywood humor there for the chat. This may be, I may have to call in Paul Hotspur Hippie for that one. Jacob, thoughts on the type of style and players that Big Ainge is bringing in? I'm going to star this and I'll go back. I'm just trying to catch up on the damn, still trying to catch up on the damn chat. Y'all absolutely killing it tonight. Big up. Yeah, Moondog killing it. Big up effing hell. Good to see you in the house. Your first chat is calling out Moondog. Another super chat, please. Oh, another asking Moondog for another super chat. There you go. No need to, Moondog. You've donated enough to the channel, and you've liked. I know you've liked the video, so big up yourself right now, Moondog. Big up effing hell. Big up everybody who's here. I will find you eventually and say hello. Don't you worry. You're still a baby. I need them baby vibes. I need those baby vibes. I'll tell you that much. Howard Vale reopened the transfer window. We're on a roll. Hey, come on, open that puppy back up one time. Let me just get a couple players in here and out. Come on, David. David Allen, big up. Ainge is going to create something special. Great players are going to want to come and play for Spurs. Absolutely agree with you, my friend. So Paul just texted me, Douglas Fairbanks is an actor. Big up, Paul. Paul, I mean, I don't know what you're doing, Paul, but this is just the way these shows go. It's mandatory that you get a link, Paul. That's just mandatory. Best vibes, Jacob. Big up, Ren. Appreciate that. We try to keep the vibes immaculate here. Try not to be too stressed. Try to be too blessed is the motto. He got treated like garbage by his fans. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He wasn't the first, nor will he be the last. But what I will say is let's at least give him a pat on the back on the way out. Let's not do the whole Game of Thrones shame as he walks out. Let's do the nice thing here. Stay loose, Jacob. You're a banga. That hopefully a banga is a good thing. You got a thumbs up, so I'm assuming it is. Did not see the Van de Veen photos. Show us. Oh, you want to see? You want to see? Do you want to see? Hang on. I'm going back to my... Because X got rid of the little bookmarks on the side, so now I have to be really careful how I get back to my bookmarks. Let me find the photo. Now y'all get to see all my bookmarks. But here's a photo of Van de Veen. Tweeted by Ons Orange. Oh shit. Look at that guy. He don't look 21. He looks fully grown. That's a grown-ass man right there. Someone's lying on his birth certificate. Massive relief to see the Deadwood on a plane. They got there safely as well. That's what matters. Best quote from Jacob, too blessed to be stressed. Not just from me. I heard it somewhere. Everything comes from somewhere at some point. I'm not that original as much as I would love to be. Do you think Tottenham is stuck with Dyer because of the homegrown situation? Says Nick De La Torre. I don't actually think that Eric Dyer counts. Someone tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that he counts to the homegrown quota. I think Davies does, but I don't think Eric Dyer does. I thought I heard somewhere that he does not count, and that he's actually taking up an official spot. Hotspur Hippie, I gave the window a 7. It'll have to be an 8 now. Go ahead, keep bumping up them prices. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Johannesburg, Jerusalem, Helsinki clock is ticking already. Midnight 33 a.m. Big up, Wolves. You're out there. You're far out there, man. Far out. Big up yourself. Sanchez always giving his best. Not so with Ndombele, says David O'Laughlin. Very good point. Adrian says it's likely Dyer will be gone in January, as there will probably be teams at home and in Europe with injuries to defenders. Interesting take there, Adrian. I hope you're right. It'd be nice if we could throw him out to one of these places. You know, there's Saudi Arabia's window still open. I heard they're still offering money for Mohamed Salah. Don't you worry. Gua says, I'm sorry, I'm fucking up your name. I feel like I've mispronounced it every time, Fred. Big up David Hall. I don't think I said hello. Big up David Hall. Big up Gua says, Dyer's too slow for Ainge ball anyway. Absolutely, and he showed that. It was on full display when he was El Capitano over there in Barcelona. I remember that stream. Irish Hotspur's reaction was hilarious. Phillips over Dyer 100%. Yeah, that's how I feel. Yeah. Could be a zonk. I don't know what a zonk is, but it could be. Big up Ren says, yes, let's take a punt. Why not? Why not? Chris Peters, not all the deadwood are gone. We still have Dyer and Davies. What I will say about this, though, Davies allegedly has shown something to the gaffer, the man in charge. Sorry, I just two beautiful faces just showed up backstage, and honestly, it's one of those times when you're like on the playground and like you didn't think all your friends were gonna play the fun sport, but then all of a sudden they start kicking the ball around. You're like, oh shit, let me get out there and start slide tackling. Yeah, it's a little bit like that. I gotta say, I'm gonna ignore this comment. No. I will say no. I don't care what the nutritional value of a kangaroo is. Let's not go there. Let's not go there, man. Come on. Let's not go there. Oh, let me just bring in the guest. Let me bring in the guest. This is enough. I'm not going to think about kangaroos. I've got Paul from the Hotspur Hippie, and I've got Kuva. I am blessed and on royalty. I'm going to put y'all on the top shelf, actually.
This is positivity central going on here.
Look at this. This is positivity, delusion, and romantic ideas. Romantic ideas, indeed. At least, I don't know where to start. I'm at a loss for words. So let me just ask the first question to both of y'all. Paul, I'll start with you. Tanguy's gone. Davinson's gone. Initial thoughts.
That's pretty good, eh? Although it would have been helpful if they pissed off 2 days ago or 3 days ago, we might have been able to replace them. But I'm happy that they're gone. So rather have Phillips on the bench than any of these people. I suppose I'd have to reevaluate my rating of the transfer window. I gave it a 7 anyway, which is not what no one else gave it. But now we've got rid of a bit of deadwood. I'm going to give it an 8. So I'm happy.
I like it. Price is going up. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Kuva, the news was official 45 minutes ago. Spurs officially tweeted it. Spurs officially tweeted it. Now, when something like that happens, and then you got people on YouTube changing the titles of their video to breaking news, all caps, the whole thing, all fucking caps. What are your thoughts? Not necessarily on the all caps, but Davinson Sanchez and Tanguy and Ndombele, take it away.
Excellent. We were talking about this earlier. I'm pretty sure on this show, weren't we, Jacob? About all these fringe players that aren't good enough. I've got no problem with any of them going. Any of them. Yeah. We're having these crazy arguments on channels now about, oh no, you've got to have cover. This is a bad thing to let him go. Must have the cover. If these players aren't good enough in the first place, then they aren't cover. It's literally just putting a player in for the sake of it. So why not put in the youth player? Because that's potentially the future of the club. It's better to spend time and money on the future than it is on prolonging the past.
Now, what I will say real quick, Kuva, just to interject real quick. Now, when I was in college and I had a busted taillight, I went and bought me some red tape, and I taped, and so it looked like my taillight was intact. So if a cop drove by, yeah, it looks like he's got a taillight. Fair enough. Does that not still get the job done? The illusion of I'm trying to play devil's advocate here in regards to the Sanchez leaving. Like, even though he's not a taillight, he could still look like one from afar, technically.
No, because we know what we've got with him. He's proved it time and time again. I think you could even say with Richarlison, he's not even been here long enough to like have that conclusive proof that he's always going to be terrible. Although it looks that way, it certainly does look that way. But when you've got the likes of Dyer and Sanchez that have been here, 5 years plus, and pair of them, and they've been terrible for many of those years, you should be getting rid of them at any opportunity. If somebody comes along offering a packet of peanuts, would have taken it. They've been overpaying.
What kind of peanuts though? I've had some shitty, really non-salty
the really
peanuts.
Bad sort of ones that sit on the bar tabletop. That everybody's
does get salty from everyone touching it. Yeah, they got that extra salt, extra flavor to savor, if you know what I mean.
Eric Dyer with extra salt. That's exactly what I think about him. Yeah. No, I mean, you've got to be ruthless. And we're at a stage now. It's the perfect time for me. I've been saying this last couple of days. It's the perfect time for. Don't worry about what's happening this season. Just start getting in these players. Give them a chance. The ones that are going to be stepping up in the next few seasons. And Ashley Phillips, he's built like a bloody man already. He's 6'4". He runs like a racehorse. Tackles hard. He can jump. He's good in the air. He's got all the physical attributes I've seen, although limited what I have seen of him. I didn't see anything jump out at me and said, "Oh, he's not very good in that department of the game." He seemed to have it all. He's just lacking the experience, but he has had some experience of playing in lower divisions. He's not like a shy, academy player coming out for their first debut in pro football. It's he has done a bit. He has been playing a bit for Blackburn, and that's toughened him up. I think he's going to be ready soon. Ange clearly thinks he's going to be ready soon. He's already made it to the bench. Why worry? Why all the fuss about keeping either Dyer or Sanchez? They're rubbish for us. And again, Dorrington, another one coming through the academy. I haven't even seen the lad, but plenty of people are raving about him. And the academy team's flying at the moment. You're destroying all comers, basically. We have got talent coming through now. Don't be scared of it. If it's the old adage, if they're good enough, they're old enough. And I think we've got a bright future coming. We're just going to hamper it by keeping old baggage that isn't good enough and wasn't good 5, even 6, 7, 10 years ago. Was Dyer ever really good enough? Even Pochettino didn't really think so. I had to change him from centre back to right back to central midfield. Ended up dropping him anyway. He wasn't good enough then, and we're still looking for excuses with some people to hang on to somebody like that. No, get them all out of the door. If 20 of that first team squad disappeared this window, even if we didn't replace them, I would have just been, let's go with the first 11 we've got, and then just fill the rest out with the youth players. You want restarting the club from scratch, basically, in terms of playing. This would have been the season to do it, more than any other I can think of in recent history, because we've got so many players aging that are not wanted, constantly out on loan. Let's just be rid of them all. Don't be scared of the departures. Look at the ones we've got coming in. Look at what they're doing. Be positive about the future. We're going forward, and this manager's the one taking us there. I am so thrilled about what's happening at this club.
Speaking of thrilled what's happening at this club, I know I'm showing a picture of Mickey van de Veen, the young stud on his way to play and practice for the Netherlands. They said new star. So I'm not sure about this. This is a guy that I've been really claiming I wanted us to sign since January. We needed a left-sided center back in the Conte system. As bad as it was, I was like, this guy right here, though, he's pretty damn good. And he's young, and I thought he'd be pretty cheap. Now, we did drop a pretty penny on him, and I think he's came in and been so good that people are forgetting necessarily, like, when we look back at this window, and I've listened to some people be very harshly critical of this window. And for me, I mean, Paul, you and I were on stream, and we looked at the numbers. We looked at the visual representation of all the motherfuckers we signed and all the bastards we got rid of. And it was still like, yes, a lot of the ones we got rid of were on loan. So if you want to be critical there, I can understand it. But like the guys coming in, we as a fan, we surely, but don't call me surely, have to be kind of thrilled with the business we're doing with the likes of a young Mickey Van de Ven, a young Ashley Phillips, 6'4", 18, looks like a grown man. This dude right here, this picture I have of Mickey Van de Ven, this guy, he doesn't look like a kid. I'm a grown ass man. I look like I've been through a fucking dust storm. This guy looks like, you know what I'm saying? A fucking guy who works in one of the fancy towers in New York running numbers and becoming a millionaire like that. You don't know what his technical job. He looks like that. And he's so young and he's come in and done such a good job that I think it's just like, okay, well, we've figured that out. But like last summer, we all knew, last year as well, that we have a major problem with the back line. And now with the bit of business we did a year ago, with the bit of business we did this summer, the back line's looking pretty darn good at this juncture. So Davinson Sanchez going, I'm not too concerned. Now you could say the depth, but Paul, how are you feeling about the prospects of our back line going forward, given that hopefully Dyer leaves ASAP? This before the turkey window closes, gobble gobble.
Yeah, get rid of him. It'd be great. I was really excited on the weekend to see Phillips on the bench, like Coover said, ahead of Dyer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's great. Hopefully, I think what's happened is these players have been under the illusion that maybe they're good enough to fight for their place.
Big up, Rich.
And now the window's closed, and Ange is still saying to them, "No, you're not playing, mate." Now their agents are getting a bit jumpy, and they've been on the phone saying, "Look, you've got, your value's going to go down," and now they're crying. This is what I said. This was happen. The players that we wanted to get rid of, that we didn't get rid of yet, they're going to be running out the door in a minute because they ain't going to be getting game time. This is all down to Ange Postecoglou. All this, this is the good thing about not having a director of football or any of that hierarchy in at the moment. Ange has been able to put his stamp on the squad and say who he wants and say who he doesn't want. And he had to have a look at them all to do that. And I think he's done fantastically. No other manager has done this so quickly. Our back line has been shit for years, but no one else has seemed to sort it out for whatever reason. They
all praised who we had.
Yeah, I don't know if that's Levy or Enid I don't give a shit. In fact, there's no other. We've had manager after manager playing Dyer and Sanchez and all again and again and again. And within a couple of months, Ange just sorted it all out. It's brilliant. I'd love to see Phillips or Dorrington on the bench. Sod all these old players that are shit. Get rid of them.
Brennan Johnson, 22 years old as well. These, I don't want to say the kids are all right, but damn, these kids looking pretty good right now. And don't take that quote out of context neither.
Like the guy you got on the screen there, Van de Ven.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just that he's a brilliant defender. He's actually a class footballer. He's got you can tell he's comfortable with the football. He knows what it does.
He knows his abilities as well. That's one thing we were talking about yesterday, Paul, was when we were looking statistics, people were like, oh, when we were heavily linked with Van de Ven, everyone said, well, aerially, there's a lot of questions there. There's no way he could work with a Christian Romero who also aerially cannot work. There's no way. Now Christian Romero has, I think, lost one aerial duel in this entire season. He's lost one aerial duel. It was absolutely perfect last game. And I think the one he missed was versus United or something like that. But he's missed one aerial duel, Romero. And Van de Ven's been damn near perfect every match as well, aerially and ground duel-wise. So defensively, I mean, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I brought y'all two on, so clearly I'm going to get ahead of myself here. Do we have the best left-sided pair? Let's throw the pair of Romero and Van de Ven together. Do we have top 5 best center back duos, top 3, top 2? Kuva, I'll start with you. Looking at other clubs, I mean, obviously, Man City, you could argue, is number 1, of course. They got all the depth, they got all the players, they got all the money, and they got Vardy also. They're really 1 through 3 options that they have, 1 through 4 options they have. So it's not even fair. So let's not say the best, but who's second best, who's third best. Now let's not look at 3 center backs because that's not really fair. Let's just look at starting partnerships. What do you think?
Well,
Big up Lily White Lad.
last season, I'd say Newcastle would have been ahead of us in that department because but Botman there, the introduction of Botman made a hell of a difference. But they're looking a bit wobbly this season. They're not
Botman's
the same
injured now
team.
too.
It's really surprising.
Yeah.
Man United, big names in like Varane there, but they're not really doing it either. I mean, they can be good. Varane and Martinez, when they're on form, the team's in a reasonable run of form.
Yeah, Martinez scoring boots. He needs to take those off.
Yeah,
Martinez, he couldn't stop scoring with that when we played.
Yeah. So I'd say that's a fair sort of comparison for me at the moment. Perhaps those two. Arsenal, Saliba, clearly, Gabriel wasn't really fancied at the start of the season. Have they really improved the defensive partner for Saliba? I'd say possibly not. Remains to be seen. We'll have to see how they go. I think Liverpool still question marks. Virgil van Dijk has never been back to his best after that horrible injury. That was where he was basically assaulted by Pickford.
The one that bent his knee backwards or whatever.
Yeah, it's just
that was tough.
How Pickford got off so lightly with that, I have no idea. It's a wild dog throwing himself at him. But that's Pickford for you. So Liverpool got question marks there at the back as well. Chelsea, well, I can't even name you half the side at the moment. I have no idea. They've got new players in every 6 seconds.
Real quick. This comment here from Adrian, I don't want to digress, but does anyone know the ins and outs of this deal? How much are they paying of Tanguy and Ndombele's wages? Because I've heard of 1/4, and now Adrian Stroke is saying they're paying all of it. Now, I know Sergio Reguilon, Man United, are paying all of his, but that was because they needed him. Have y'all seen anything?
Surely Turkey have not got the money to be paying.
There's no way they have 200 grand a week for Tanguy and Ndombele. Maybe
there's very few clubs in this country that will pay those sort of wages.
Wilfred Zaha's not even on that.
We're not broke.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Like the money in Europe's not overflowing right now. So that's a good point. I'm curious, Adrian Stroka, who told you that? And also, while I have both of y'all here, what is this? Connor out of Primeval Brilliant Program me. Why is there an E at the end of program?
That's how you spell it.
Oh, I didn't know that because over here, when you get with the program, it's not get with the programmee. What is big up John Celtic guy out there in Scotland?
Primeval's a sort of a dinosaur-based drama, fantasy thing. I've not watched it, but I'm vaguely aware of it. So it's obviously a character in there that looks like you.
I have to look into that. I thought Paul would know because Paul's always like, "Oh, you don't know Simonia Garfunkelisque?" And I'm like, "Who the hell's that?"
It's like you were born in 2010. Your knowledge of anything before that is so scant.
I did graduate high school in 2009.
Garfunkelistic. You're asking about our centre backs there, Jacob, and I'd take it further. I'd say that right at this moment, we're the best team in England. There's no one playing better than us. We're second in the league table, so maybe you could argue Man City, but we're going to beat them twice anyway, so they don't count. But right now, we are the best. I don't know how long it'll continue. Hopefully, till the end of the season. But we're better than everyone.
I agree with you, Paul. Honestly, I have a hard time not going over the top. And when I speak with you, I definitely go over the top, Paul. So, I want to say big up everybody who's tapping in right now. About 130 y'all locked in right now. Make sure you're hitting that like, hitting that subscribe, hitting the dislike, really whatever floats your boat, and then also participate in that poll. I see 146 votes already and 115 likes. So again, about 30 of y'all do not want to grab free beer on the way to the party. And it's strange to me, but that's your life. And as Bon Jovi said, it's your life. It's now or never. Isn't that Bon Jovi? Or is it Aerosmith?
I'm sorry, I was half paying attention. I was trying to find
who said
decent
it's
pictures.
who said it's my life, it's now or never, because I'm not gonna live
Oh,
forever.
that's good. That's Bon Jovi, isn't it? Definitely.
Oh, so I was right the first time. Paul, you
Yeah.
shook your head. You had me doubting myself.
Yeah, I was just shaking my head to put you off. That's all.
Dry roast peanut. Want some dry roasted peanuts? Honey cashews for Rin. And this is regards to the peanuts, Kuva. I think that you were saying you would take. Now, everyone's saying they'd rather just not have a tail light. Y'all are hilarious in the chat, honestly. I know I'm super behind, so big up everybody. I got a couple questions started, so let me go ahead and ask some of them while I keep going through the chat. The first one I've got is from Bal Penders. His question: what youth player would you like to see get minutes this season? Let's take Ashley Phillips out of the equation. Obviously, Dorrington is on the lips of everybody right now. So, what is there anyone else, maybe someone we haven't thought about, that you would like to nominate for a youth player you'd like to see get some minutes?
Kuva. I mean, one for a couple of years away would be Mikey Moore.
That's a good one. Yeah,
I can't wait to see him put on a Spurs shirt. That kid's incredible. But yeah, Dorrington would be my pick. That's what we need, and I think that's what we're going to get. I'm excited about it.
I would also Santiago.
I have to be absolutely honest. I've not been following the academy like I used to. I've just not found the time.
Oh, you don't have Spurs play?
No. Even if I had it, I was just getting time to watch everything. I've been away from just streaming generally for a while until the last few days, and just not getting around to it. So I kind of rely on what other people I know and trust of saying about players, and there are rave reviews about Dorrington at the moment. He sounds absolutely different sort of class to the players around him. Phillips I've seen a little bit of, and I like the look of him. So I've generally just got this feeling we might be on the brink of seeing a little golden era for the academy coming through, which makes a good change because they're always overlooked.
And at least finally, we've opened the door to allow these kids to meander on into the big boy room, because it's what we've seen in the past. Kuva, I know, maybe a year and a half ago, I was going...
By the way, that's the actor that's talking about. I can kind of see that. That's a little bit Jacobich.
Oh, this guy... I mean, he's a professional actor, so I guess I can't shade the... He looks a little funny to me, and if I saw that guy at a gas station, I don't know that I'd feel comfortable. But we move. Appreciate that. But no, I had complained, Kuva, and I know probably a year and a half ago, you've heard me screaming about the fact that no one from our academy... I think when Markandé left, that was like, all right, I'm done. Like... getting excited about youngsters, reading about our youngsters, researching our youngsters, and never getting a chance to see them. And now I have to watch Nani Madueke play for Chelsea. Marcus Edwards is in the Portuguese league. I can't even watch the motherfucker. So, to me, it's perfect timing. The doors have opened up. We've actually begun to pay attention to the kids. Let them in. Let's see what we can do. I see a couple of y'all already in the chat when the question was asked. Let me go back to it just so, I unstarted. So very good job of me. But it was what youth player would you like to see get minutes? I saw some Santiagos, Iago Santiago, Dorrington, Mikey Moore. Yeah, those are all very good. Alejo Valise is also being thrown out there. That's a good one as well. Let me get some Alejo Valise in my life. That'd be all right with me.
I've always got a soft spot for fullbacks in particular. That was the position I played most when I was certainly in my time. So if we've got any young wing backs coming through, ones who like to bomb forward at all opportunity, let's have another Udogi, because at the moment Udogi's rapidly becoming my favourite player.
Honestly, he's the whole reason I watched Udinese last year personally, because I was just like, I want to see what this kid has to offer, and he was head and shoulders the best player on that squad, and it was just evident, and it was like, wow, Yeah, I'm so glad that we got him. The loan deal thing didn't piss me off because sometimes to get a deal, you got to grease the wheels a little bit of the other team. The other team saw him as a vital asset going forward. They were top 4 for most of the season last season. And then obviously like midway through the season they started falling down, but they were flying pretty high, and you got to think that Destiny Ugodi was a major part of the plans. And so they're like, well, you can have him, but let us have him back for this season. We did the same thing with Papa Matasar. Ay, Papi Chulo Matasar. So, not bad bit of little business right there, Kuva. It'll be interesting to see. We haven't registered players in their numbers. We could technically still see him take the number 6, Mickey Van de Veen or Destiny Udogi. Someone could take that number 6 real quick. But David Allen says, question, if Saudi club offered 50 mil for Richie, what would Spurs do? What would you do, Kuva?
Bite their hand off. If they offered just the 5 million, I'd bite their hand off at the moment. I've tried to give Richie benefit of the doubt, tried to big him up, thinking, a bit of confidence, maybe that'll just make the player. But the more I watch him, even though he scored, against Fulham, I just don't see it. He's just so bad. His touch is so bad. His reading of the game I don't really rate either. He struggles to get into good positions, and even when he does, he doesn't really have that sort of clinical, that calmness. When you see, like, sometimes in films they accentuate it where, like, perhaps a sniper is about to take the shot and everything slows down. And that's that moment of dead silence, just you're about to pull the trigger. And strikers seem to have that icy cold ability to finish under pressure. Richarlison does not have that. He's one that's going to smack it as hard as possible because he's not the most natural finisher in the world. If you're not the most natural finisher in the world and that's all there is to your game is finishing, you really don't have a lot, do you?
When it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be.
Yeah, he was a baffling signing in the first place. Everton must have been laughing all their way to the bank. And he has struggled. He's even struggled to live up to his Everton standards, which were pretty average.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's just not done it. I mean, if perhaps Ange finds a way to get him in the box more and perhaps we do squeeze a few goals out of him. That'll be good rather than seeing a player completely go to waste. But just look at the way he's playing, the body language as well, and second half the way he came out against when he fell over the ball in the second half.
Bournemouth.
That was Bournemouth.
Yeah.
The ball tackled him.
And you watch the confidence just drain out of him. His passing immediately went to hell. I think he's in a really bad state at the moment. I don't think we should worry about a player being dropped at all, though. It's a natural thing, and I think he's got enough character in his makeup to actually fight to get a place back at some point. If he manages to do that, at least something's working on the training pitch. So I'll give him a bit of time for that, but I'm not expecting much. I think Brennan Johnson's going to be a far more interesting prospect.
I like that, Kuva, talking dirty to me. Moondog coming in with a super chat saying, I heard a quarter of his wages, and he super chatted it, so I'm going to go ahead and take that as a fact right now, and I'll run with it until I'm proven otherwise. So, Paul, the man's looking at you. You want to look to your right. Look at who's looking at you.
Get away. Get away.
Are we totally pulling a masterclass if they even pay, say, a quarter to half of his wages? Is that just a master stroke? Or is it I
don't care how much they're paying. I don't. The fact that he's not around, that's the main thing. That's he's not going to be, stinking up the dressing room, wandering around. Hopefully, if we can get rid of Dyer. I mean, that's about it, isn't it? Then the Deadwood's almost gone, isn't it? Dyer. Some people would maybe say Davies or not Davies, but definitely Dyer.
But even if you include Davies, Dyer, Davies, Lloris, what's left? Skip? Then we're getting into players that are actually contributing on the bench. I mean, I say contributing on the bench because they're literally contributing to a warm body on the bench. Not that like he's providing anything off the bench at this juncture, but I mean, we're sitting pretty good if we're getting two names that all summer people were saying they gotta go, they gotta go. The window may be closed, but we're still farting in the wind, so to speak. And you know what? As long as it's the window's open enough for us to squeeze out two more farts, I'm fine with it. So quarter of his wages, half of his wages, I'll take either or. Yeah. I was listening to someone there saying that their stream earlier got raided by a bunch of Galatasaray fans being like, we pulled one over on them. We grabbed two of their best players after their window closed. I don't know if Ozon here says Galatasaray resurrects the dead. Ozon, I don't know, maybe I've missed you before, but I don't know if you're a Spurs fan or a Galatasaray fan, but I want you to know TANGUY Ndom baller, Ndom big boy, Ndom long schlong. He's going to bring you lots of fun. Just look at all the comps. Look at all the comps. Don't worry about what the full 90 minutes say. Just look at what those 2, 3, 4, 5-minute comps will tell you. And then talk to me nicely if you think we really got rid of somebody good. Because honestly, he was so fun to watch. Can we admit there was a few times there where you're like, I think there's something. No? Was I the only one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
One thing they're not going to like over there is he's lazy.
Yeah.
They traditionally hate a player that's lazy. They give their all for the team. They get behind them. Same as most clubs and most fan bases do. But Davinson Sanchez, I think, could do all right for him. I think he may well be a good signing for him. But TANGUY, forget it. You're getting somebody that just doesn't give a shit.
He's a Serie A winner. Well done, Galatasaray.
Yeah. That's his
just
skill,
won the
isn't it?
Scudetto.
Getting huge wages for not doing much.
Yeah.
I mean, he really feels like, you know, I know a lot of people are really upset with him because, like myself, I wasn't born with the God gift of having the silkiness in my boots, so to speak. They said, get your clunky ass in goal, sir. You're too clumsy. You can, yeah. So it is a little bit like, damn, if I had half of this man's ability, personally, I don't really have the personal drive like a Ronaldo or a Son to like just keep fucking working at it. I'm kind of lazier. I like to enjoy myself. So I feel him on a personal level. But there's a reason why I was never close to playing professional ball in any sport, because I didn't have the drive and the dedication. And so it does feel a little bit like, damn, this guy, you know, there's plenty of people out there who work extremely hard, give a whole bunch, but they just don't have it. And like, that's gonna happen. And so I think it's natural to be frustrated with TANGUY and Ndombele when you see the guy's he's like a can of biscuits you just opened, but you can't pull any of the fucking biscuits out. You know what I mean? Anyone in America, you got those can of biscuits, right? And you peel off the thing, then you tap it with a spoon and it goes and it pops up like blue, like pop, you know? And it's like it pop and you're like, ooh, let me get some of them biscuits. I got the oven warmed up. But you can't get the little fuckers out because they're all like smushed in there, and then you're cutting your fingers on the. Anyway, I digress.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
American biscuits. I mean, yeah.
Pillsbury biscuits. Google it. Pillsbury biscuits.
Pillsbury Doughboy. That's a thing, isn't it? So yeah. Okay, I'll know the company.
But not biscuits like cookies. I'm talking fucking gravy, American Southern biscuits. Yeah. Come on.
It's one of those.
Is that what you eat with your chitlins?
No, more of a grits guy than a chitlins.
All right.
Chitlins is a little rough on your tummy in the morning. Come on.
Menudo? What about menudo?
I'll have some right fucking now. Talk to me nicely about some menudo.
Man. You can't eat food that digests you back. That's not right.
That's fun. You have a little internal battle. Who's going to digest who? And, you know, if you got a little pig hoof floating around in your stomach, it's all good. It's all good. I remember being a kid when I first learned what was in menudo. I was scared. I didn't even want to look inside the cauldron because I was scared. But once you taste it, you're like,
It's like chicken nuggets. God knows what they're made from. It's not chicken.
No, we know. We know what chicken nuggets are made out of. We know what
Yeah,
I digress. This
This
is a breaking news.
The short life of the male chick, isn't it? Basically.
No, okay. So this is a breaking news show. So I will not tell you real quick though. Chicken nuggets is basically like beaks, their talons, feathers, intestines, all the stuff they couldn't turn into like chicken meat. They blend it up and they put all this coloring in it, and it turns into like a pink goo. And then they take that pink goo and they freeze it. And then after they freeze it, they coat it in the breading, and then they deep fry it. And then there you go. There's chicken nuggets all the kids can enjoy.
And
frozen
it's
pink
still
goo.
more mobile than Eric Dyer.
That's a very good point. And you know what? Some people actually eat this stuff and can still be professional athletes. That's what I find very interesting, because if I eat any of this, it's not working for me. It's interesting. Tanguy Ndombele, now again, another player that I feel like has come under a lot of scrutiny, and I feel like he gets disrespected in the sense of like they call him Tanguy McDonald's, Tanguy and Dom Jelly Belly. I've heard a lot of things in this chat alone today, but let alone over the few years, you know, nicknames we give to this guy. Now, I don't know that he was eating deep fried pink goo, or if he was eating Big Macs, or if he was eating right, but the man's a professional athlete, and like I've never once thought he seemed like chunky. He's just lazy. And it's like there's a difference between being chunky like me. I mean, if you saw me wear the same clothes as that motherfucker, you'd be like, yeah, one guy's Ndom burger and it ain't Ndombele. And so it's like I don't really like the fat shaming thing, because I don't think he's fat. I don't think he should be shamed for being fat, but I know people like to banter him. You know, they find McDonald's in his trash can. I've heard it all, right? Where do y'all stand with that? I know this is like a little bit of a, not necessarily football, more of like a culture thing. Is it kind of like the Davinson Sanchez getting booed, all's fair in love and war? Or is it a little bit like, let's be nice. Let's remember what Dele Alli said about mental health.
I've got a quicker way of describing it, because it links in with a movie. You've seen Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, I'm assuming. Jason.
Yes, Jason Statham classic.
Yeah. One of the main characters, Tom, all of the rest of them say, there's a scene where they say, Tom, you're fat. You don't look fat, but you're fat. That's what's happening with Tanguy Ndombele, because he's so lazy. It's the instant picture you conjure in your head. It's like, you know, rather have a cheeseburger than go for a run sort of thing. No, it's unfortunate, but it is the way. If you see somebody lazing about, you're going to make these sort of assumptions, but they might be untrue. I mean, quite, you know, to be honest, he looks pretty fit to me, but most people do, because I'm the size of a whale. But there we go. It's just one of those things that sticks with it. It's the same as you can get a great athlete. Actually, I don't know where I'm going with this. I'll just shut up.
Oh, I like where you're going with it.
It's fun with it for a minute.
I did see. Go ahead.
It's just one of those things. It's perception. It goes with mannerisms, and it goes with character.
Yeah, like if you work in a restaurant, they always say, "Time to lean, there's time to clean." That's an old saying they got out here. And so it's like not necessarily like you're not busy, but it just, the appearance gives off maybe not good optics. I see what you're saying there, Kuva. So I pulled up in an effort to just figure out what's going on with Tanguy Ndombele's money, or with the money being paid to Tanguy Ndombele. This is from Galatasaray's tweet, okay? And it says here, the transfer fee of the football player is 15 million euro, and it has been agreed to be paid in equal installments spread over 5 seasons. For this season, they're spending 3.136 euros on his seasonal wage, and we know his seasonal wage is 10 million. So they're paying 30%, a little over 30% of his wages. So it is just over a quarter. I mean, I know this doesn't change anything for y'all, but I'm just throwing it out there that
better to get some money back than nothing, isn't it? So that's all good to me.
Yeah. Everyone's saying sell Richie. Big up Peter Ford. And Ndombele looks like he's modeling the new look garden gnome. Why no one like the bucket hat? I thought that was supposed to be hit with the kids. No one likes the bucket hat. I think is that Guess or Gucci? I mean, I don't know who that is, but it seems designer. Yo, Jacob Rylex in the house. Big up Rylex. Big up Roy, Discord member. Again, link to Discord is in the chat. Or in the description of this video, sorry. Got a super chat that came in from J. Co. It's throwing me off my game. Big up J. Co. with the first dono from you. Well, it's not the first dono of the day, but first dono from J. Co. today. Big up J. Co. Says Kuva's vote of confidence allows Sonny to flourish.
Oh, big up, Jay. Yeah, well,
big up, Jay.
He's been in the chats a few times when I've been talking about Sonny and just saying the man knows how to finish. If you get him in and around the box, he's going to score goals. I see the same with Brennan Johnson. I think we're in for this we're a little bit of a surprise with him, just how good he actually can be. But Sonny, it's despite all of his problems, the fact I thought he was out of form, there's always been a reason you keep him in the team because he can get these goals. And I regularly back him was last season when he was under fire. And one of my usual bets is 7-3, Sonny 5 goals. So I'm getting closer at times, but there's always a belief there that he can recapture that goal scoring form. Whether he's the same athlete, herring the length of the pitch like he did against Burnley a couple of seasons back, where scored a wonder goal. Maybe that side to his game's on the downward wind now. He is 30 now. Your body does not respond quite the same way as when you're like 23. Losing a yard of pace for him isn't a big problem. It would be for an out-and-out speed merchant where that's all there is to this game. But Sonny is a quality finisher. You give him chances, give him enough chances, he is going to score goals. We just have to find a way to get him into the box more often. Playing him as number 9 certainly does that. And we've seen that from him before in the past when he's had to deputise for Harry Kane. He played really well playing as a number 9. We just have to adapt our game slightly because you can't throw the ball in at head height for him. That's not his game at all.
No.
Just get it along the deck for him to swoop onto and smack it home.
And with how fluid we've been in the build-up play, I don't think it's going to be a problem. We're not necessarily that team anymore that just has to run down the wings and fucking fling it into the box and hope there's someone there. Hope that you know what I mean? Whereas in the past, Jose, Conte, a lot of our game was the counterattack, and if it wasn't the counterattack, it was working the ball out wide and driving down and then cross it into the box and hope Kane's there. And usually Kane was the first one to spray it out wide so then he can sprint into the box and hopefully get on. And it's like we're less hopeful in our attack, and I like that. We're more deliberate. We're instead of just throwing it up there and see what sticks, it seems like we're like very direct. This player shifts here, boom, you have a line there, and boom, there's a 1-2 in the middle. Now all of a sudden Sarr pops up in the box looking like a attacking midfielder. Skip was doing the same thing. I mean, honestly,
we're scoring some great team goals as well.
Exactly,
all the players are taken apart all the way from decline.
Yes, yeah. Kulusevski is currently under the same pressure that Sonny's been under because the goals aren't happening for him. He's contributing to the team overall. It's not in an exciting way, though. He's doing the defensive work, the really unsung donkey work, but he's doing that well. He can hang onto the ball well. He can still pick a pass. The reason you persevere sometimes with these sorts of players, even when it's not exciting or not going, a full tilt, is because he does have that skill set at the end of the day. He is technically gifted. He can pass the ball. He can create chances. We just need to see it happen for him. And there's no better way to silence the critics than just go and bag a few goals. So I think I'll be backing him in the next few weeks as well to start scoring.
Kuva, I love it. Thank you for answering that super chat. Big up Jaco for the super chat. I'm just catching up to the comments and people are like, what the fuck are you talking about? But I was trying to explain the can of biscuits, man. I'm crying. That's hilarious.
You put your clickbait headline out there, and people think, "Oh, I'm going to watch this for some quality Tottenham news."
I'm fucking crying. I'm talking about fucking biscuits. I know.
What does this American know about biscuits? You can't dunk that in your tea.
Oh
Yeah,
my God, I'm crying. That's fucking hilarious. I sometimes forget, like, y'all aren't just fuckers from down the way because we're friends, you know what I mean? So I'm like, I talk to y'all as if you know what the hell I'm talking about, and only a portion of the audience will even know what I'm talking about because most of the audience is from the UK or Australia or various parts of the world. Um, so I know that's a very American thing, a fucking can of biscuits, and then you pop them, and then you get the dough out, but. This fucking Howie, Jacob, what are you talking
There
about?
was one the other night as well. I don't know. I can't remember who said it. Might have been Will Stewart, possibly. And somebody had said, "Oh yeah, well you've got to give him credit because he had the hockey assist." And I thought, what? What's that?
Oh, a hockey assist? I said that. I've said that before.
It was you, was it? Yeah, I didn't know what it was exactly, so we had to like
The
have a
guy who
little
passes to
conversation
the
about what it meant.
guy. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
he's the guy who passes to the
The
guy.
assist to the
who then-
assist.
Yeah.
What Luka
It's-
Modric used to do really well for us.
necessarily doesn't show up on the stat sheet. And I think sometimes when you look at numbers overall, like in a team like this, especially, I think that ties into the way that we play as well, being that it's a team goal, it's shared amongst everyone. There's a lot of credit to go around where Basuma's not blowing out the assist stats right now, but how many hockey assists would he have? I don't know. I probably have to go back before I try and make a big point about it and put the numbers together. But there's at least two I can remember where he passed it to the guy who passed it to the guy who scored the goal. So these team goals are going to happen like that. And I mean, you're going to have Sar popping up, getting a goal here and there. And honestly, that's what's made me feel pretty good about the Harry Kane thing. At the end of the day, it was always the worry, oh, Harry Kane, who's going to score the goals? Well, apparently put Sonny and fucking play 90 minutes up front. He'll get you 3 right there in 90 minutes. And honestly, long may it continue. I'm sorry. I'm so I'm taken aback by the fucking biscuit talk, honestly. There's 175 of y'all in the house. Big up yourself right now. Appreciate the 147 of y'all that have hit the like on the video. That definitely helps the channel. 203 votes in the chat. 47% say finally 2 of the Deadwood are gone. And in second place, 35% says glad to move on / hopeful for Phillips. So let's see what people say. Did Jacob just call Ndombele a professional athlete? Yes, I did. And I stand by it. Whatever people call him, I'm just glad he is gone, says Scott M checking in. And whether it's his first comment or his 101st comment, Scott M's always going to give you the full Scotty M experience. And I appreciate you, Scott. Hope you're keeping well. YouTube chat member in the house seems mad, says shaming of any kind is ridiculous. And David says you don't look fat, Jacob. Thank you. I'm just on the heftier side. I'm not fat, but I am a little chunky. I got a dad bod. I'm a stay-at-home dad. I'm not trying to fucking show you my abs on the beach. I'm more pat my belly like a big drum for my son. And you know what? If I didn't have a big belly to pat like a drum and I had a six-pack, what am I doing with that? What entertainment can I provide my son with like model abs? I don't know. Yuki Metal says Galatasaray is your father. Galatasaray is our father, apparently. Hey, yes, Daddy, come buy these chips from me, please. Yes, I know the bag's already opened.
I'll give them something. I was in Turkey about 25 years ago, and I was fortunate enough to go to a Galatasaray game. And we've seen it in the Champions League when your English clubs go to play there as well. There's one thing I absolutely adore about that fan base, and that is they will make the most hostile atmosphere you will see anywhere.
DeAndre Yedlin spoke about that. There was a great article that came out when DeAndre Yedlin went and he played in Galatasaray, how when he had like 4 bad performances in a row, that fans went to the apartment building. He was some high-rise apartment building that he lived in, and he said he felt like he couldn't leave or else there was a flurry of fans outside just screaming, waiting to berate him. Yuki Metals here with a lovely emoji says Galatasaray is everywhere, smiley face, and a fuck you. So big up Yuki Metal. Enjoy TANGUY and Ndombele and Davinson Sanchez. I appreciate y'all today. You can send whatever emojis you want. Galatasaray, say what you will, they are a huge, online at least from what I can see, their fan base is pretty damn deep. but they are pretty ruthless, and they won't accept.
Passionate. And passionate. Yeah,
absolutely. That's what I'm saying is any fan of a Turkish club, I know for a fact those fans are slightly on the side of like, don't piss them off. You know, if you want to live a healthy life with 4 limbs type of fan base. And I'm not supporting hooliganism in the slightest, but I think that's a good way of putting it, Kuva. Passion. There's a lot of passion from those fans.
I mean, it's I've seen it regularly in some of the Turkish matches. That have before the start of the game, the bloke will come out onto the pitch with a big giant flag. He's waving that around and the megaphone, trying to get the fans into a frenzy, and it really works. So they're all chanting, jumping up and down. It's in unison, having a chant about the team, and it's just this incredible cauldron of it's just plain hatred towards the other team. It's the only way you can describe it. It's absolutely fantastic. I just wish we had something like that at White Hart Lane. I really do. It's something to behold. You've got to admire them for it.
I still remember Graham Souness planting the flag, the Galatasaray flag at Fibonacci, and he almost got shot. You know, they didn't like it, but it was quite a good statement.
Absolutely.
Yuki says, calm down, guys. Galatasaray will be the lifeblood of Ndombele. I love it.
Maybe.
I love it. And then Tessetin says Bayern Munich. There you go. Bayern Munich indeed. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. We're not going to be going for too much longer. We're already here on an hour and a half, and I do have to wrap up the show very shortly. But I have some more starred questions before we end off, as I promised in the early part of the show. Woodsy TV, a YouTube chat member, says, question, have you seen Gary Neville and company at Sky Sports having some digs at Spurs this season? Think Ainge might have them a bit rattled already. Paul, I'll start with you. Has Ainge rattled the entire world at this point so quickly?
Yeah, and I'm looking forward. You know, when we're doing well, it's because you're going to hear someone like Gary Neville say, when's the bubble going to burst for Spurs? Then you know we've got them really rattled. And, you know, I mean, a lot of the commentators, they're just Man United and Liverpool, aren't they? With a couple of Arsenal thrown in. They're always going to be against us, and it don't matter because Ange likes that siege mentality. It's us against everyone else. And, you know, I don't think we've stopped surprising people this year. We've only just started, man. And look at what we're doing. We're only going to get better. So, you know, all this, you know, at the end of the season, people will think, oh, maybe we'll get top 6 or whatever. I think we're going to be in a genuine title tilt. Whether we'll get over the line or not, I don't know. I think we will next year for sure. But we're up there at the moment.
Yeah, we absolutely are. Kuva, have you noticed a little change in temperature from the pundit, so to speak?
I don't care too much about what Gary Neville said because it was about the cup exit, and it's true. A lot of our fans were really upset about that. So I've not got a problem with that one at all. It's all the other little jibes about, you know, has he got the experience and things like that. You know, the questioning what's happening. Well, the real answer to that is look at the league so far. This hasn't been a fluke, those 4 games. We've been playing well in them. And now we've got one of our talismanic players coming back with a hat-trick. Okay, so you can say, oh, it's only Burnley. How many other teams are going to go there this season and score 5 goals? I bet it's not a lot, but you can count them on one hand at the very, very most. So let's see how it is in a few weeks' time, because I've got full confidence in this, man. This was no fluke what he did at Ange did at Celtic either. It was a dominant way of playing, and those Celtic fans are used to seeing people coming in and winning things for them. But their absolute reverence for Big Ange is off the charts. They know quality when they've seen it, and he really brings something to us. I think he's going to be so good. Even Scott M might say he's okay at some point.
Oh,
whoa!
So he's going to be world class. So, all right. Dub Shaman's in the house. Big up Dub Shaman. Big up Daryl Bradford as well. Seeing a few names popping up. Want to make sure I say hello. I don't know if I've said hi to Jamie Git. Maybe Son is a 9 will take Shearer's nickname, Sonny the Shark. Sonny the Shark, do 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 do. Sonny the Shark, do 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 do. No.
No.
Okay. All right. I'll go ahead and stop. Both of y'all look at me with them eyes. It's like, damn. All right. Guess I said something wrong.
You're not
My
going to
fault.
get a DMCA claim on that one.
Yeah. No, copyright's coming.
Oh, that was something as well. The talk about Sonny losing his pace. I mean, I wondered that as well. But you look at it this season, he looked very quick against Burnley. And 2 of the other matches, Max Aarons and Wan Bissaka. Those fullbacks are bloody quick. So if he doesn't look that fast against them, it's because they are that quick. So I'm not too worried about it yet. Sonny may have lost, the odd half a yard of pace, perhaps on one of those insane lung-busting runs that he always used to do. But otherwise, he's still quick enough.
I like that you said half a yard of pace, maybe on those long gut-busting runs. Yeah, I don't think we'll get another treat like we did when he won the Puskas versus Burnley. But there's evidence and statistics to back up the fact that on the left wing, he was just as impactful as Maynard Solomon was. When everyone's saying, oh, Maynard did such a good job. I know he had the 2 assists, so it makes it look. Sonny just finished his dinner. If Richarlison finished some of the chances that Sonny had passed into him, we might be saying different things about Sonny on the left wing as well, and Richarlison. So, I don't know. For me, it's just a myth. I did a whole episode yesterday. The whole theme of that was Sonny busting every myth. And shout out Discovery Channel and RIP to forget his name, but one of the Mythbusters who died, shot him out. But Sonny's the new Mythbuster. Everything that they said about him.
It's the one thing any forward is going to do that's going to shut everybody up, and that's just score goals. When he got a hat trick in his last match, goes a hell of a long way to shutting everybody up, doesn't it? Long may it continue.
I did in the pregame. I think I was tuning into somewhere. I saw Kate from Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs, and she loves giving it rough to Sonny, etc. So I remember being like, Sonny scores a hat trick today, you're fully mudded. And I just threw it out there because I was just like, this is what I hope for every match is a Sonny hat trick. But yeah. I mean, when you throw the dart 10 times and 9 miss the board completely, and the one time one of them sticks on the board, it is a good cause for celebration, and that's why I think I was pretty shameless myself. Let me see the next question I have starred. Big up Woodsy, thank you for that. From Ravi says, Jacob, your thoughts on the type and style of players that Big Ange is bringing in? The right type of players, mentality monsters. There was another episode of the Untitled series where it was Papa Montessori, and I tabled him the Ange's mentality monsters, because they really are mentality monsters. We go down a goal, no problem at all. Bang bang. Now we're leading at halftime. Bang bang bang. Now you don't know which way we hit you, left, right, up, center, don't matter. So I love his talent ID and his person ID, his human ID, not just being able to say, this guy's fast and I can use him. This guy's got a left foot or a right foot and I can use him. This guy's solid defensively. He says, yeah, he got all that. Yeah. But what about up here? What about the intangibles, the things you can't teach? I think he looks for that in players as well. So that's what makes me excited, at least about the Brandon Johnson news. Big up, Ravi. I'm going to go to the next one and ask my panel. What's your take on Lloris staying at the club for now? Paul, I'll throw this one to you first. You're shaking your head. You don't like it.
For fuck's sake, man. It's the same with these 2 that are just gone now. He's had offers. And he looks like, I don't want to go here, I don't want to go there, because they're not guaranteeing me first team football. Well, you're not getting any football at Tottenham, mate. Just bugger off and stop releasing these corporate PR media releases about your professional journey and all this bollocks. Just go, man. Mm-hmm. Go.
Kuva, what about you?
My feeling is if a big offer comes in from the Saudis, off he'll go. And everything he said will look like absolute bullshit.
Just as it is with Sanchez possibly, and maybe Dyer if they go. I'm fighting for my place and all that. Well, you ain't got a place. Oh shit, agent, get me out of here now.
Yeah, the same as, in fact, with Hugo, as you alluded to a second ago, just staying here goes against what he said, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because he is literally here being a high paid backup to somebody that even if he does come in and take their place, he's holding them back now. That's why he said he doesn't want to go to Nice. Why is he here then? He's doing exactly that. It's just all talk, isn't it? Like you said, it's trying to sell himself, paint himself in a better light. It would have been far better if he went and we just said, thanks for your service, Hugo. Really appreciate those years you've given us, because he has been good for us. But now it's starting to feel like he's starting to stink the place out a little bit. He's been there a little bit too long now. Should have gone while he was on top.
That's a good point. I just want to say I stumbled upon the part Galatasaray are in the house. So I spoke them into existence. Please do hit that like and subscribe. I'll tell you all about TANGUY and Dom Big Dong. I'll tell you all about...
You've got a bargain, Galatasaray.
Watch the compilations, my friend. And also what I will say about DAVINSON Sanchez, y'all have him on a permanent. Now, what I will say about him is he was absolutely crucial to the fact that we got top 4 under Antonio Conte. Because we won by this... We got up there by, what was it, a point or 2 points it was? So therefore, if we didn't get 3 points versus Watford in the early weeks of that season, DAVINSON Sanchez header in the stoppage time to give us a 1-0 victory. We're desperate. Any water, please. Please drop it in my mouth. And DAVINSON Sanchez game-winning header in 90th minute. Never forget.
Jacob, that game-winning header, that was my favourite thing that he's done at the club, because he was being slaughtered week in, week out by everybody. And when he scored that header, and you remember, he really puffed his chest out. He chest bumped Dyer, I think it was. And he had this look on his face like, come on, I'm the man. And I just thought, you know what? For all your faults, all the errors you do, you've still got a bit of character there. There's a little bit of defiance. There's a little bit of something there. And I've always seen that about him. Again, on Tuesday, he could step up and take the penalty. He missed it, but he had the balls to do it. Other players hid. So I'm never going to slate him that much. I just think he just hasn't been good enough for us. He just lost his way. I think he might be able to rekindle his career at Galatasaray. It might be a really, really good move for all parties.
Because look at this message from our good friend Yuki Medel. Which shout out everybody. There's a few more names that are very hard to pronounce that I haven't attempted yet that are in here from Istanbul and from Turkey. I've been to Greece. That's about as close as I've been to Turkey. I've been to Greece. I loved it. I know y'all had some beef back in the day, but let's not talk about that. Says coming to Galatasaray, he has to work hard. He will return to the time when he became a star. He's only 26. He is only 26 years old. It feels like we've had him for a long time, that maybe he's older, and he oozes the talent. Galatasaray, the Turkish league, they're also not going to accept lazy behavior. They're not going to accept shitty performances after shitty performances. Now he is alone, so maybe the club could get away with it, so to speak. But from the looks of the Galatasaray fans that are in the chat, they don't look like they want. They look pretty excited about the guy. We are Galatasaray. This is Galatasaray with the Lions. I didn't know the Lions were associated with the club either. I didn't know that personally. Don't diss the biscuit, says Neil Shafton. Jacob and Paul had me in tears last night with the Dyer video. Watched it back 10 times. That was absolutely hilarious. I had a 6-pack once, and now it's a barrel. Rowan says, I'm so hyped to see Johnson. Really liked him when watching him for Forest. Gladio 1905 says, Tottenham buy Sanchez, and Ndombele €104. Galatasaray buy for 25. When you look at it that way, y'all got a bargain, my friend. And yes, sir. Y'all win today, Gladio. And I'm Gladio that you're here. All right? I'm Gladio to see you in the chat. And you know what? Enjoy these guys. Love them. Please don't be mean to them. They're probably going to be mean to them. But we'll see. Galatasaray, our new savior. God save Galatasaray, says Neil Shafton. Ozan here from Galatasaray as well. I don't know how to say your name, so apologies. Minerals is here as well. We are here, says Ergin Yapi. Ergin? I don't know how to pronounce your name, and I apologize. Arslan says, do you think we did a good job loaning in Ndombele? I would say it's better than buying him outright because you might get disappointed with him. But you might also give him a chance to revitalize his career, like Kuva was saying. Like I was hoping he could do under Ainge, which I'm not upset with Ainge for saying I want nothing to do with this guy because, again, I trust his talent ID and his human ID. So when he pretty much said, no, I don't think I can get anything from him, and this is the second manager in a row where it's came out that Ndombele said he wants to fight for this manager and prove to this manager. So honestly, getting him on a loan, it's low risk, high reward potentially. You might get a medium reward, but to me, it seems like I wouldn't be upset if I was a team looking at it from the outside, looking at it from a different perspective. Like, you're getting a pretty good deal on a guy that was it was our record signing. They signed two of our record signings in the same day. With Davinson Sanchez, when we got him from Ajax, was our record signing, and now Tanguy Ndombele. Very interesting to see. I do think it was a good job.
I desperately want them to do really well. Be great signings for them, because there's nothing worse than seeing a player completely have their career completely wasted and they just sit in the reserves doing nothing. I prefer to see that happen, and also because if it works out well with Galatasaray and they get two cracking players that help them win stuff, they're domestic league, do well in Europe, perhaps they'll come back and take some of our other ones as well.
Yeah, maybe. We got another one for you.
Buy two, get 8 free.
We've been saying we'll package deal, we'll ship them, double shipping, save you the cost of shipping and handling. We'll do it. 172 likes on the video. Y'all are absolutely killing it tonight. 252 votes. Wow, 80 people. That's the most people that came to the party and didn't bring free beer. I think it's a new record, Paul. 252 votes. 43% say finally 2 of the Deadwood gone. 33% says glad to move on, hopeful for Phillips. 18% says Sanchez leaving concerns me, and 6% says Ndombele leaving concerns me. So 6% of 252 says Ndombele leaving concerns them. It's interesting. Big up Mr. Box Office TV. I would have you on. I am trying to end the show very shortly, so I would have you on otherwise for a nice little throwdown, but we are going to be ending it very, very shortly. Big up Alex. Yeah, big up Alex. Love Alex. Good guy. I love anytime he comes on. He absolutely cracks me up. I was watching him earlier on Time At It On with Alan Clark. Shout out Alan Clark. He's always up for a debate. You gotta like a guy who's willing to get up to the debate anytime.
Yeah, just utter gentleman as well. He's a really, really nice bloke, is Alex.
Yeah,
I think that's what a lot of people won't know about him. They'll see Mr. Box Office.
Yeah, they see the box office, but they don't see the Alex.
That is Alex. Yeah. Alex's alter ego just venting about what he sees with the club. I love that. I think it's a healthy release.
Spot on. I have a couple more starred questions, but I see a couple super chats coming in from our Turkish brothers. Big up to the Turkish brethren hitting us with the Turkish super chat. Says Galatasaray with a heart, 2 hearts. You know what? I'm going to enjoy keeping up with Galatasaray. I mildly kept up with them because of Wilfried Zaha. I thought that's a great bit of business they did there, picking him up on a free. They don't have Zaniolo anymore. They did sell Zaniolo, but you know, there's a few pieces out there. There's those center backs that we were linked. Nelson, was it? We were linked with for a little bit. So maybe a couple things to keep an eye on. I don't know how to say your name, sir. I'm going to try it, but please don't get upset with me. Blame it on the American education system. Kagler?
I think it'd be more likely Chala, maybe.
Chaglar. Look, even English words I don't pronounce great. People in the UK tell me how much I always mispronounce their words. Australians say the same thing, and we all speak English, and I can barely pronounce their shit. So I do apologize, but thank you so much for the generosity of the channel.
If we can't get the names right, I could do one thing they might appreciate, and I'll just say Ag Sharma.
Ag Sharma, indeed.
Yeah, just good evening.
There we go. I like it. Yeah, learn something new. Appreciate you being here. First time here, and you hit us with a super chat. That means a lot to me. Jayco also hitting us with a super chat, says, I'm with Paul. We are winning the league. Mathematically, you can't say we're not going to win the league.
Destiny's in our own hands as well, man.
And then we also got a super chat with no message. I'll look for your message in case it was a mistake. But I see from Ferret R7 give us another 2 super chats. Back-to-back super chats, but I think your chats were not going through. So let me see what you were trying to say with your super chats so I don't miss them. Big Up says, no problem. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. Apologies. I'm very sorry. It's the American system. It's not my fault. But Ferret says, Farit says, we formed a great staff. I wish Sergio Ramos would have come too. Then it would have been great. That's a great... He did sign for Sevilla, though. That is where he came up, I believe. They said he returned after 55 years or whatever they said it was in his return video. So I think sentimentally he was like, I want Sevilla. He said he turned down lucrative offers from Saudi, from Turkey as well. So he was definitely wanted. I know Spurs fans, I was a little bit wet thinking about Christian Romero, Sergio Ramos, Van de Ven, you want to take a day off? Well, I mean, maybe 45 minutes off because one of these two are going to get a red card. You put 2 raging bulls out there and just see what you get. I've often said I wouldn't mind it. But big up, Farit. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name as well. But big up and thank you for the kind donation to the channel. Let me make sure there wasn't anything else you were trying to say with those because you did hit 2 super chats, but you did not say 2 things. You only said 1 thing. So I want to make sure you feel like I read out your comment. Jordan Kiwi, someone else's trash may be someone else's need, maybe someone else's treasure. And again, there's a good point made earlier from one of our Turkish brothers, and they said, this guy's only 26. He can still return to when he was a star at Lyon. He could. And that's the thing I've always said up here. It doesn't matter if it's Ndombele, if it's Richarlison, it's Kulusevski. I never like to say this is what a player is and put them in a box. Now, when it comes to like an Eric Dyer, it's a little bit easier to put him in a box. A Ben Davies, a little bit easier to say what Ben Davies will and won't do. Davinson Sanchez.
Harry Winks is doing well at Leicester this season.
I saw some highlights, lowlights, and they were not very good for Harry Winks. It says Leicester's finding out what they really got this summer, and it was him whiffing on a ball, and it went out for a goal kick, and it worse than Kai Havertz, worse than Kai Havertz. Zaha, the other side, Tete. They have Cenk. I like Cenk as well. There's a guy I knew. His name was Cenk. One of the first guys I ever streamed with on YouTube. I wonder where he's at. 11 Turkish equals 1 cent of British. So you hit us with 20 cents. Thank you so much. 20 cents is more cents than I had, and I only got 2 cents, if you know what I'm saying. But big up. Appreciate y'all showing love with them super chats. I am missing a shit ton of y'all in the chat. Sir Diablo, big up. Let me ask this question to you guys as a Galatasaray fan. Please be honest with me. Ndombele and Sanchez, it's good for us or bad? What's your opinion? Honest answer, please. Okay, so I was going on and on about, I was joking a little bit about some of them. Davinson Sanchez, when he played in the Eredivisie, he showed us 2 things. He has pace and he has power. His decision-making and his execution of his decision-making, questionable at best. So what I will say with Davinson Sanchez is you're getting a hell of an athlete. You're getting a guy who can aerially get it done. He's won us games with his head. You're getting a guy who has a good amount of pace, so he can recover well. I'm not sure the system Galatasaray play. I'm not sure if it's a high line or a low block, but he's an athlete. First and foremost, in Davinson Sanchez. With Tanguy and Ndombele, you have a guy who's unmotivated. He's an athlete, but not in the sense like he's going to wow you for 90 minutes. He's going to have flicks and tricks and deeks and stuff that's going to make you say, wow, and you're going to get up off your seat at some of the things he does. But you might also get some of the things that we saw as Spurs fans, which was lazy, not dedicated, walked around like he doesn't give a shit a lot. And that's where he lost a lot of fans. Michael and myself, We defended him for a long time whenever he was having spouts of really poor performances. But he disrespected our badge at our home stadium in a cup match when we were chasing a goal. And he, instead of hustling to get off for the substitution, he took his time, he walked, and we were chasing a goal. We weren't trying to time waste. So you get a guy whose attitude and head may need some readjusting, but he has oodles and noodles of talent in his boots. He has it. It's just a matter of, is he going to use it today or not? Do y'all have anything else you wanted to add?
I think that covers it. I think Davison also.
I think it's a fair covering of it.
I think Davison. I don't think you can question his effort. You know, he tries. It's just that, you know, his skill hasn't been up to it sometimes. But you know, he's had a couple of good performances for us this year, and in a different sort of league, he might do all right. So I think you're right about Ndombele. Whether he tries or not is one thing. Davinson Sanchez, I think, at least he'll always try. He might get a little frustrated with some of his cock-ups, but hopefully, hopefully he'll have a good time there.
I think Sanchez, you're getting a good athlete.
Yeah.
His execution. You know, I know a lot of people on Twitter are going to take the piss out of him with the highlights from Manchester City when one of the world's best midfielders at the time crossed his ass up, made him look silly. But if you watch the replay back, he fucking threw his head in the line of fire. So he put himself out there physically to be harmed in an effort to stop a goal. So the guy will give you something. 110%. Now, what I don't know with Ndombele is if you're going to get a committed Tanguy Ndombele. You're not going to get a 90 minutes run out of this guy. If you do, I'll be surprised. But I don't. He's got so much as a fan of his individual prowess. You could be like, wow, there's something there. But I think he might frustrate you more than not, if I'm being honest. It's great business for us because these are a bunch of people that me personally, we've been wanting out. I know a lot of Spurs fans have wanted out. The Young Turks, I used to watch them. My wife used to watch them. I think you should publish Galatasaray news now because they follow you more. Hey, shout out all the Galatasaray fans in the house. Appreciate y'all being here. Why mock our Turkish?
Do the Galatasaray fans still talk about Graham Souness planting the flag? I wonder. Has that become a bit of their folklore, or has it just been forgotten about now?
I have no idea. Question. I don't even know technically what you're referencing.
I know you.
I'm just going to nod my head along like I do.
That's why I said Galatasaray fans. I didn't say Jacob because I knew I wouldn't get shit from you. Yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that, Paul. Jordan QB says, I didn't say that in a bad sense. Tottenham fans see these players as scavengers, but we are good players and we need these players. You also got Hakim Ziyech. I just saw in the chat too. He's a good little player. He would definitely have walked into our squad. I mean, you could argue Ziyech is better than Kulusevski. At least Premier League proven more so. Tonguy's gifted. He has become lazy and doesn't give 100% exactly. Jason Bell's in the house. Big up Jason Bell. Sanchez had stretches where I understood why we brought him in. Then a series of boneheaded decisions that made me wonder how many matches our scouts actually saw him play. Again, you watch him play a few matches, you think, damn, this is a damn good athlete right here. It's a hell of a player. You watch Barcelona, you watch him fill in for Brentford. Yeah, he had a couple mistakes, but overall, I would say, damn, it's all right. And he had some Spurs fans saying, maybe we should keep this guy for the season. So, Sanchez, there's something in there that you're getting for sure. Jacob, do you guys watch... Was there something you want to say, Kuva?
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, I think Galatasaray, if I remember rightly, they got Portuguese international Oliveira, Sergio Oliveira, I think. They picked up some players with some decent European experience, and they've got them sort of on the cheap, or perhaps when their careers are winding down in the likes of the Premiership. And they've certainly picked up a few players with talent. So they could be building something quite worthwhile over there. If they can get the tune out of these players that we couldn't. I mean, let's face it. At the time we signed them, Ndombele and Davinson Sanchez were outstanding for their teams. They were really outstanding, made big waves. It's only when they came to us they went downhill. So if you can rekindle the days of old, They could be brilliant signings. Yeah, why not get excited?
Look at these signings from Hayal. We're just here on 2 hours, so I would encourage you to hit that like. A lot of you have, and I appreciate it. 182. Wow, 182 likes. Appreciate y'all. We almost have 100 more votes than likes, but that's okay. An influx of people just here to see what's cracking with the Galatasaray news. But this from Hayal says Galatasaray are creating an amazing team. They got Icardi. I forgot about Icardi. I don't know how you say his damn name. But that forward, and then they got Zaha, Ziyech, Sanchez, now in Ndombele. They're putting together, you could say, an experienced squad at a very high level. Zaha has what, 12 years of Premier League experience, 10 years Premier League experience. That's vital stuff. I know he's.
But perhaps it's the start of a beautiful friendship between the clubs, and we'll start. We'll start cheering them on as second or third teams or something like that.
I would love nothing more than to tune in. Sorry, Paul. I would love nothing more than to tune in and see Tanguy and Ndombele balling out for Galatasaray, and then he comes back, and guess what? Now his value's high. You can have him if you want him, but we still get to see a resurgence on a young kid's career that maybe a lot of people wrote off too soon. Paul, what were you gonna say?
Well, it's been a longer friendship because I've seen a couple of comments talking about Graham Souness there, and Graham Souness came through Spurs Youth Academy. He's one of our own.
He did.
So there you go.
That's a good point. I saw some of those chats coming in, but yeah. Big up Bobby K with 3 Spurs boys. Bobby, if you're still here, can you put the chat? Or can you put the link for 3 Spurs boys and Hotspur Hippie in the chat for me if you get a chance? So that way anyone can go and subscribe to these 2 lovely people as well. Big up Nita is in the house. Rebuild, absolutely. Is Icardi still with his wife? She's a nightmare. That is an interesting story. I love reading about that. Icardi and his wife, whatever. Rixie, I personally, they started out cool. I will say the Young Turks did start out cool. Then I think they started getting paid, and they started talking a little differently. Sanchez is a Colombian PS4, says Minerals. El Tel Cocarel is in the house. Evening, Jose. Hope you are well. Akif, Souness is our legend. There you
Excellent.
go. Here's the thing. We're not on the same level as the league I'm talking about, Premier League's top tier, I can tell, but Turkish Super League, maybe he'd do better from here. Thank you for the info. Yeah, no problem. Love answering the questions. Love new names in the chat. Appreciate y'all tapping in with us today. Yeah, the thing is, I agree with you, and I don't want to disrespect leagues by saying they're less than the Premier League, but obviously the money is in England at this moment. We all know that. And I think it's fair to say, Tanguy and Ndombele can tear it up in the French league. That would lead me to believe he could do the same in the Turkish Super League as well. Sanchez did well in the Eredivisie. That's a league that requires pace because the wingers are so damn fast in that league. And he can hang there.
And Sanchez, his first season with us, he was outstanding as well. It was after that he went downhill rapidly.
That's a good point. They love Souness. Big up Daniel E. Souness is the best. Gallipoli, says Neil Shafton.
Oh my God. Gallipoli. Gallipoli. We go, and Australia goes on like it's not a celebration, it's a commemoration, but it's Gallipoli Day in Australia. We somehow every year we remember just getting slaughtered on the beaches of Gallipoli for some reason. So, I don't know.
What?
Turkey won, Australia 0. That was.
Wow, the beaches of Gallipoli.
Yeah.
Sounds lovely. But
yeah,
you said slaughtered. It doesn't sound good.
No, I think it's a big cock up.
You think about it as well. Anzac Day. Celebrated how many ships sent over from Australia that got blown out of the water. I mean, it's a lot of carnage to go with these celebrations, isn't there?
Oh, no. It's crazy.
Oh, look, from JC, I guess Galatasaray and United are in the same Champions League group. Good. I wanted someone to follow in the Champions League. I get to watch Tanguy and Ndombele. Come on. Nita says, yes, podcaster
should we do that, Jacob? We'll do a little roundup every now and then. Now Galatasaray are doing
a little Galatasaray roundup. Yeah, let's see how we're doing in the Champions League this year. I mean, we're not going to be watching anything on Wednesday and Thursday night.
Exactly. Yeah,
Tuesday night. We can watch pick a little European. Already for Europa, I've picked PSV, but I think they might have been in conference this year. I don't know. Nita says, yes, new podcasts are new to me. My eyes has always been Tottenham Hotspur before podcasts I found. Love, trust me. Big up, Nita. Glad you're here. Glad you're supporting Tottenham Hotspur as well. Ozul and Ilkay Gundogan Turks. Don't know what that means. Doubt it. If Ndombele performs well in Galatasaray, he'll stay. Yeah. Maybe he'll find a home in which he feels loved and he gets the support he needs. Bobby Cage dropped it in the chat. There's the link for the Hotspur Hippie. Hit that link. Go subscribe. And then I'm sure the Three Spurs Boys link is somewhere around here. Big up Osman as well. A lot of new names in the chat. All the Galatasaray people here in the house. Big up. And for Kuva, here's the link. Three Spurs Boys. Go click that. It is a lovely channel. Go subscribe over there. Let's get them to 1K. Much deserved. Much deserved over there. Tyler says, big up Galatasaray. We have something in common. We both think DeAndre Yedlin is shit. Cheers. And thanks for taking in Ndombele and Sanchez. Good luck. Good luck indeed. At least we can wish him good luck, you know. New name here. Galatasaray against United in the Champions League, so we need these two players from Tottenham. You know what I mean? United's picking the players off Tottenham too. Everyone wants Tottenham's players, apparently. We gave Reguilon to United, you know? A little Reguilon versus Ndombele resurgence. That'd be fun.
I fancy Galatasaray's chances against Man United in that group. I think Man United just aren't there at the moment. They're all over the place. So, they're there for the taking.
Good point. Big up Carl Simpson. We will be ending the show very shortly. I just want to make sure I said hello, and I just damn near caught up on the chat. Y'all absolutely been killing it tonight. Mr. K says, if we've let go of an experienced defender, then we might be promoting a youth player. I think it's Dorrington. I think it's already been confirmed that it's Dorrington we're pushing up now.
Is that right?
I thought I read that somewhere. I might. Let me see if I have a bookmark.
Fantastic news. If that's true, that's brilliant.
I did have this bookmark that I want to share with y'all. Let me go ahead and share this. Look at this. So they removed Dyer's shirt. So in the video of Brennan Johnson, look at this photo here. You see Brennan Johnson's shirt. If you can see my cursor, I'm doing circles around Brennan Johnson's shirt. Next to it is Eric Dyer. So when they walk into the thing for the tour, right, and they're touring, everyone's touring the little area. This is what they would see. So he comes in. He did the stadium tour. Now he's in the locker room looking at his shirt. But then whenever they go to take the photo of his shirt, they swapped out Eric Dyer's shirt for some reason. And they put James Madison. Eric Dyer, and they swapped it for Mr. Madison. Now it makes sense. You want to put your newest marketable player next to your most marketable players, and right now it's definitely behind us right now is Son. So it's Madison, Johnson, Son. You could argue those are our three most marketable right now.
I think this is, I just want to say, Ange Postecoglou, he's doing the impossible. He's doing way better. I thought he would do great, but all the crap he's had to deal with. He's had to handle a lot of transfers by himself, probably, or scouting. There's no director of football. He had the Harry Kane situation to put up with. He's dismantled that old leadership group that everyone thought stunk the place out, and there was too much player power. That's all gone. He's put in his own regime.
We've got a new group chat FC.
Yeah, and he's got rid of. He's found out players. He's gone through the squad in quick time. He's gone through the squad. He's found out who he don't want, and he's got rid of players that none of us like. I mean, he succeeded where all the other managers we've had recently have failed. He's won already in my book, with what he's been doing. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely agree with you.
I agree. The problem I have with this club is the ownership. The manager, I'm fully behind. This first 11, I'm fully behind. Loving what I'm seeing there. So Big Ange has to do all this in spite of what he's got supplying him. There was some interesting things. was on discussion earlier in the day, talking about Paratici and the setup with the director of football and what's happening behind the scenes on the youth team. And it was Johnny H3232 talking about it. There was quite a lot of eye-opening stuff, and he's obviously got privy to some of the stuff that's going on behind the closed doors, but whereas we aren't. And it sounded really promising, I must admit. It sounded like there is a bit of a revolution of sorts going on there. That's why we're on the brink of seeing these youngsters coming through now, and it's why the youth team is doing so well at the moment. So partly to do with him. So let's stay positive, I think.
Yeah. Well, the under-23 sucked arse last year, and now they're playing well. So all our teams are playing well at the moment. It's great.
Yeah, I see Chris Peters, big up Chris Peters, YouTube chat member, says Dorrington got a contract extension. I'm pretty sure he did too. I swear I saw it somewhere, but I don't have a fucking bookmark. Maybe the tweet got deleted. I don't know. But I was looking all over. I swear I saw something. I remember starring it, but then maybe it fell by the wayside because of all the Galatasaray news. I had some stuff here on Ashley Phillips. Obviously we can't talk about it. The show's gone on. We're making a Martin Scorsese right now. We're at 2 hours and 12 minutes. There's been 0 explosions, so we will be kicking the show out. But before I do that, I want to make sure I give my esteemed guests an opportunity to give me their final thoughts. Obviously, big day. We sold 2 players that we've been trying to sell that we couldn't get done on deadline day for the English Premier League window, but we still got them moved. It's officially official. It's not a here we go, let's wait and see tomorrow. It's no, they're both gone. They're both in Turkey right now, enjoying, I'm sure, some great food and coffee. But Kuva, I'll go ahead and start with you. What's your final thoughts? And while you do that, I will pull up the 3 Spurs Boys link again.
Echoing what Paul said, what Big Ange just done is when he's come in, I did not expect it to be turned around this quickly. The amount of fans it's winning over so fast, the brand of football, the style, the passion, the aggression, the pace of it, even though it's not in full flowing working order as he'd like, there's enough of what he's brought to the club already going through the team, and what a difference it is. It's more than a breath of fresh air. It's CPR for this club, because the last 4 years they've been dead to me.
Is it CPR like the Sandlot? Whenever the beautiful lifeguard goes to give you CPR, you go. Is it like that kind of CPR?
It's like you put it in the oven and there's like gravy and stuff. And no, we won't go there again.
Okay.
Biscuit talk for everybody.
Back to the biscuits.
No, Big Ange turning it around. Got full belief. Loving what I'm seeing. Long may it continue. I think the only thing that's annoying me at the moment is we've got a damn stupid international break. I just want them to see more Spurs.
Yeah, man.
All the time.
Yeah, it's tough.
I hope it doesn't sort of put an end to the sort of momentum we're starting to build, because it can do, unfortunately. We'll wait and see. But the belief's back. I'm loving Spurs again. I think we could just take on the world. I feel like we can go back to back Anfield, Madrid, and just smash them all in their own backyard at the moment. Obviously we won't, but the feeling is there, and I am loving it. And I'm loving the fact that I can have fun going to some of my mates that support other teams and just stick a finger in their face saying, we're back. You're running scared. Have some of that.
I love
especially it. The Gooners. They're all big-mouthed and, we're so much better than you after they've been below us for all these number of years. They clawed their way back over. But they bottled it again. They bottled it last season. They bottled it in the season before that. We're on the way back. We got nothing to lose. We're going to go to their place fearless for the first time in ages. I feel like we'll get a point there. I'm more worried about the game against Liverpool than I am against that lot. I think Liverpool could be doing something big this season, but for us, let's just enjoy it. This is back to being what I know as Spurs. This is the club I've supported when I was growing up. This is it. Attacking football, passion, drive, talent, flair, pace, bit of everything in this side. I am loving it. And who thought we could do that without Harry Kane?
Not a lot of people, but it's a great time to be a Tottenham Hotspur fan, undoubtedly. Also, I saw one of our Turkish brothers, Aslan, says I think what he's trying to say is his second favorite team is Tottenham. So look at that. I will be paying attention to Galatasaray in the Champions League, undoubtedly. I want to say real quick, Jason Bell, big shout out. Welcome to the family. You have grabbed your YouTube membership, joining the Lovers Lane. We're 2 likes off of 200. Absolutely insane numbers. If there's 2 of y'all who haven't liked, I would encourage you to hit that like if you don't mind and help the channel grow that way. But big up Jason Bell going above and beyond the call of booty and grabbing that membership. Means a lot. Help support the channel in a great way. Help support me personally because I do have bills that are due, and this helps justify that. So I appreciate you grabbing that, and big shout out to all the members. Again, sorry if I've missed anyone in the chat throughout. Y'all have been absolutely killing it. There were a couple questions that I did miss, and I do apologize for that. But Paul, I'm pulling up your link right now. Do you have any final thoughts before we end the show off?
Yeah, the same, man. I'm a bit annoyed there's an international break now where we're building up a head of steam, and we've come a long way since the highs of Davinson Sanchez getting a last-minute goal against Watford. Now we're going out there. Oh, we've scored 3 goals. Well, we haven't finished yet because we're going to score 4. No, we're still not done. We're still coming for you. We're going to get 5.
There you go.
And we're going to batter a lot of teams this year. We really are. And I think we're going to get 3 points at Highbury. I think they're in disarray at the moment. You've got them. They don't even know what positions to put players in there at the moment. They're a shambles. So I think it's onwards and upwards for Tottenham. I really do. I thought last night, watching a few of the games, there just seems to be a nice party atmosphere about the place, and it reminds me of the 86-87 season where it was just fun going to watch Tottenham. We were just we smashed teams like Man United 4-0 that year, and everyone was having a ball. We didn't win anything. It didn't matter because everyone was just happy. And I'm seeing that this year. I think we're going to be more successful than we were in 86-87. But
you texted me that yesterday, and I was like, what you just said, you had sent me that message I saw last night. And honestly, like, I referenced this when y'all aren't even on screen quite frequently, the fact that I'm happy that Spurs are at a point, again, where fans like the both of you, I always say like Paul and Kuva, and I know there's 100 in the chat that have been supporting for longer than I've been alive as well, but to see us in those great moments, you've experienced the lows, I've experienced some of those lows with the likes of you two, but the fact that even though you've experienced the highs and the lows, you have this hope. I've experienced primarily low, mostly low. I did enjoy when Sonny won the Golden Boot at Norwich and we got top 4 and it was like, fuck you, Arsenal, but that was great. But regardless of my journey, my hopes are here. So it's like all of us, regardless of how long you've been a fan, our hopes are just up here with how we look, not necessarily what we're going to accomplish, but how we look doing what we've been doing so far. And honestly, that's a testament to Ange Postecoglou. Long may it continue.
One thing I've been really critical about Tottenham recently is they're if you're a young kid just venturing out into the world of football, what team are you going to support? Tottenham, I don't know why a kid would be excited by them, in recent years. But now, you imagine being a 4 or 5 year old and seeing what we're doing for the first time. You're just gonna, it's gonna change your life. It's gonna be fantastic. So
imagine being a young kid in Mali right now, seeing Yves Bissouma, 2 man of the match performances to start the season, absolutely bossing the midfield. I mean, this generational shit. It's absolutely generational, and I agree with you, Paul.
I'm excited. Like Ange has done it all, and we're out of the League Cup. I know, we've gone on that one to death, but I think he was right in what he was doing, and I think we're seeing the dividends now. The clear out is well on the way. All the players did by hanging around. Ange said in one of his first press conferences that people might slow him down or impede him, but that's all they're going to do is just slow him down for a bit. He's still going to go where he's going to go. And these players hanging around till just after the window pause the plans maybe on some defenders, but you know, who knows, because the youth's coming through. But we're still moving that way. You know, these players are leaving the club. We're getting fresh talent in. We've got youth players coming up, you know, because the youth sides are all playing the same style of Ange football. So golden times, man, golden times. I'm looking forward to smashing Sheffield and smashing Arsenal.
Love it. I love it, Paul. You always get me going, and Scott's there to tie the lasso around my waist and pull me back. He says, imagine being a young kid watching our fans getting excited over nothing. It must be absolutely puzzling to them. Well, I'll tell you what I get excited about, cock rockets. And I seen a lot of them just a couple days ago. Now I got to wait another 2 weeks till I see more. But I hope it continues. And Scott, I can't wait for you to jump into the pool, my friend. The pool, the water is perfect. It ain't too cold. It ain't too warm. The barbecue's fired up. Angel's cooking. The food's smelling great. Your invite's still in the mail. You don't want to put on swim trunks. But Scott, one way or another, I'm going to get you into that pool. You're going to have a couple prawns on the bobby. Not shrimp, prawns. Because I remember we don't even eat bloody shrimp on the bobby. We have prawns. I remember that, Paul. I remember our conversations.
Let's compare now to, say, last season. Last season, we were bigging up about how we made the best start we've ever made in the Premiership. And what was the football like? What was some of those results like? Skin of the teeth wins that we didn't deserve. And yet, bigging up the Messiah back then. This season, won 3 of our opening 4 games. Unlucky not to win the 4th one. Playing some sensational football and banging goals in for fun. And if you can't enjoy that, I feel sorry for you, Scott. I really do. Because, I mean, when else are you going to get excited? You'll be waiting for something that might never happen.
I agree. You know where I'm at, Kuva. Akeef, real quick, I see you've been blowing up the chat real quick. I do want to address one of your comments. Says, I think Tottenham need a bigger striker than Richarlison, and we have him. His name is Heung-min Dad, Heung-min Son, Heung-min Hung, Heung-min the one and only, as I might say. But, y'all, it has been an absolute great show. Daniel says, Jacob put me in the mud about Romero. It's okay. I'm looking at you in this way, and my hand is out, and I'm ready to pull everyone up out of the mud and say, enjoy this guy like this. This is how I feel when I see either one of them. This picture gives me the tingles and the dingles, if I'm quite honest. So I want to end the show.
We had a small Romero fan club last season, didn't we, Jacob?
It was very small, but notice the line's getting fucking big.
Everybody is welcome. Everybody's welcome, yeah.
Exactly. The fan club was very small, Kuva. And you know what? I remember the faces that sat around when there was 6 of us in a circle saying, I still love him. I don't care that he got sent off. I don't care that he got a red card versus City, which we won, which, by the way, also nullified the future Golden Boot winner, the robot Erling Haaland, took him out of the match. But we're not going to mention that. But I will remember who was in the room on that day. I will remember who was in the room the day of Milan when we were chasing a goal, and he also got a red, double yellow, I believe it was. But it's okay. We can all smile at each other like this, or like this, or like this. And that's a great way to end the show. Those are going to be my final thoughts. Whether you wavered on your trust, or you just needed him to solidify the hope. I hope that Romero's doing that. I hope Sonny's doing that for all of y'all out there. I hope Ange is doing it as well, Scott. Sooner or later, he's gonna be the guy that's like the most outlandish at the barbecue. He's gonna be having the most fun. We're gonna say, someone stop feeding Scott the martinis because he's got his shirt off and he's dancing on top of the roof. It'll happen one day. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow. But Scott, it will happen one day. There's the links again for Kuva, the 3 Spurs boys with Bobby K in them. And there's a link as well for the Hotspur Hippie. Please do go sub. Great channels, great content. They are Spurs fans, but you know what? They're some of the best damn Spurs fans I have ever known. And if that's not enough, I don't know what is, but that's going to do it for episode number 43 before my wife divorces me officially, because I said wrapping up, and now it's a joke when I say I'm wrapping up. She's like, okay, I'll see you in 45 minutes, which it sort of happened. I went 35 minutes longer than I thought I was going to, so I apologize to my wife. Y'all apologize to my wife too. But anyway, as always, stay fresh, stay blessed, up the lads, and come on, you Spurs.
Quiz.